Christmas is over, a new year begins, and what a better way to start things off for 2021 with a special race here. We are with the United States Racing Association, USRA, for a special event here at Talladega, the world's fastest superspeedway. Good evening, everybody. My name is Sam Cooper here with ESBN, and joining me in the booth tonight is name we've not heard in a while is Mr. Big B. It's Byron Rodney joining me in the booth. Byron.
Glad to be here tonight. It is Talladega. It is super speedway racing. It is cup cars on this platform we call iRacing on this network called ESBN. I'm more excited than you can imagine to be here, Sam. It is going to be a barn burner. These guys all paid money to be here, but they're not racing for points. They're not racing for a purse. This is all going to global Down syndrome awareness, but there is a lot of pride that's going to be out here. I'm looking for a great show tonight. 20 cars to take the field. Can't wait.
Yeah, going to be a brilliant race. This is the Global Down Syndrome Awareness 115 laps around here at Talladega in the great state of Alabama. And we all know the type of drama we get on these super speedways. We show them often enough on this channel with iRacing E-Series, but it's the turn of these guys. They normally run on Thursday nights, but we thought they'd have a special race here to kick off the year 2021. And like I said at the top of the broadcast, Byron, what a special way to start things off with a special event aimed at a fantastic charity.
Yeah, fantastic charity. And this is what the iRacing community does best, I think. We not only showcase what they do on the track in a simulation. This isn't a game, folks. It's a simulation. And we've had that conversation many times. But these guys not only highlight their talent, they highlight their artistry talent with the paint jobs they put on the cars. And the iRacing community itself as a whole, it highlights the talent of giving. It's the talent of the season, the generosity of it. These guys are going to put on one hell of a great show for you, and it's a big money purse. Every penny going to Down syndrome awareness.
Yeah, it's going to be a special. Like I keep saying, it's going to be a good one, and definitely looking forward to seeing what these guys can put up and down on the track. And let's go down to the track actually and see how things are panning out down there. It's 20 drivers set to take the green for this one. We have about 30 seconds left in practice. Let's go down and see how these guys are faring. And Byron, we've actually only got a couple of drivers out on track, and we're looking at Christopher Lawrence right now, who is just coming into pit road actually in the number 3 US Army machine. A lot of drivers here sporting the Down syndrome awareness logo, as well as some pretty special paint schemes out there tonight.
Yeah, a lot of great, like I said, the artistry that these guys put into preparing the paints and the wraps that they put on these cars is amazing. You know, the creativity that goes on it. And plus, hey, practice just ended. I'm looking for a great show tonight. We're going to have qualifying out here. Qualifying is set 10 minutes of qualifying. We're going to see how fast we can get these cars to haul the mail around Talladega. And I didn't get a chance to talk to the drivers pre-race if we're having open qualifying or if this is a single car run.
Well, this is going to be single car qualifying, as normally is the way
First
here.
First one out on the track will be John Mullins. Yes,
it will be, as there goes John Mullins out on track. And this is not the Speed and Freaks 250, so I'll have to change that one. So we're going to go on board with John Mullins, and Byron, why don't you just give the guys a rundown of what it's like to turn a lap around this track?
All right, let me jump in the cockpit with him here as he brings her up to speed out here on the Talladega Superspeedway along the Alabama Gang backstretch. He's getting that car up to speed. You can see the RPMs on his dash, getting up to 8,000 as he just holds it to the outside lane up against that wall, looking to get every ounce of speed that he can on that thing. He's going to hold it up in that high line the long way around the track, just building his momentum. As he brings it off for turn 4, heading for the start-finish line, he's going to take the green flag for his first lap at Anger. And you notice he keeps it in that high groove. He's going to run his first lap completely up in that high groove to build as much on-track momentum as he can. Folks, you have no aerodynamic help. You have no drafting on your single car qualifying run. So what he's doing is just keeping it wound up in the fastest momentum lane on the track, which is the high side outside here at Talladega. And if you notice, he's being very, very gentle with that steering wheel. Believe it or not, you turn that wheel just a little too much, it causes those wheels to turn, and you hear those tires on the track. That will scrub speed off. So the fastest lap you're going to get out of these cars is going to be a lap that is going to be what we call holding a pretty steering wheel, holding a pretty wheel, keeping it nice and smooth, completing that first lap all the way up in that top groove. Look for him to dive it down. Now he's going to hold that top groove. Now he's going to bring her down along that top groove. Look for that start-finish line. There, he crosses the start-finish line, drifts it down to the yellow line. Now we're going to use all that highlight momentum that we built up to hold this car down on that bottom line to go the shortest way around the track. And like I said, folks, he's got to plant those left side tires right on that yellow line and hold a very pretty steering wheel. Any steering adjustments can cause that thing to scrub speed. He's going to keep it right on that yellow line and watch as he enters turn 3 coming off the backstretch. Going to hold it on that yellow line as best he can. Doesn't want to get it all too far below it. Doesn't want to get too far above it. The shortest way around the track with the most amount of momentum that he can carry. Brings her off of turn 4, holds it on that yellow line. Look for him to duck it down even lower, maybe, onto the apron as he crosses over around the dog leg. Now remember, it's Talladega, so the start-finish line is further down the lane right there. You've got one lap in anger. And John Mullen, we just took a ride along with, move him to the top of the pylon with a lap speed of 51.160.
Yeah, and that puts him to the pole. We have had CJ Gates and Stephen Holmes take times as well in this one. We are going to take a look at Justin Winters, who's out on track right now as he makes his way into turn 3. Now, we've seen a few of these guys in the Cup Series as well. We've got a couple of familiar names there. Justin Winters is one of them. So good to see him showing his support for the league and for the charity as well, as Jared Hagedorn goes up to 3rd, and he's a very regular name in the series, as there goes Winters across the line, and that will be his first lap in anger. That was actually to start his qualifying run. Lawrence going down to 3rd place now in that US Army number 3.
Yeah, Lawrence down to 3rd place. Lawrence, he's on his flyer right now.
Yeah.
Holding it down low against that yellow line. Beautiful number 3 paint job on that U.S. Army car. Holding it down on that bottom line. He's completing his, hot lap. Drifts it up a little high in turns 3 and 4 off of that yellow line. Still holding it down.
Eric Holly to the pole. Sorry to cut you off there. Eric Holly just taking over the pole by 0.02 of a second there. Byron, great time there for the number 8.
Yeah, I'm just finishing off watching Lawrence finish off his lap as he crosses the start-finish line. Lawrence across the line, he's going to hold down P4. There's a lot of drivers still have yet to take their qualifying runs here. Don't know if they're waiting for the track to rubber a little bit more with the qualifying runs that are going on. Maybe they're looking for a cloud to kind of drift over the track to give them a little bit extra grip when they're making their hot lap. But we're waiting to see as the next car looks like it's fired off into anger.
Jeff
trying to grab it. There we go.
Pogo just coming across the line to finish his second lap, and let's see what that puts him up to. P4 for the league owner there. Jeff Pogo in that number 4 machine going up to the second row here. Thomas Ogle is the next one to cross the line. Here he comes through the tri-oval now. Ogle going to cross the line and see. Let's see where this one is going to put him for his first flying lap, and that will be P9 for the time being. But
yeah, they run that first lap up high. So remember, you're going to run a lot slower lap. If you run your full lap up high, you're going to run about a 51.8, 51.9 lap, second lap. But now notice he's on that lap. He's running down low by that yellow line, and that's the short way around this track. Now, you think, oh, it's not really that much shorter. Look, folks, when you get a track that's 2.25 miles or a little over 2.5 miles long, hey, look. It's a lot difference in ground. Look how he keeps that thing right down by that yellow line, looking for a great lap out of the number 23, Thomas Ogle.
Yeah, as he comes down out of turn 4, down towards the tri-oval now, goes on the apron this time. He's determined to get the top spot on the board here as he comes down across the line. And that will be good enough for pole position here, 51.120.
Yeah, and that was the first car that I've noticed it used that apron move, but this isn't Daytona. Now, Daytona, you have that dog leg, but the start-finish line is right there at the top of that dog leg. Talladega start-finish line is moved further down out towards turn one, and that changes your strategy on what you're going to do. As we've got some more cars out on the track, looks like Evan Pienta, Ryan Jones, and Jeff Acevedo are out there right now.
Yeah, as we're looking at Ryan Jones, and this is a car you're going to find very impressive here, Byron. Running a full ESBN coloured machine, rocking the chrome with the ESBN logos and the USRA on the sides. Very good looking car, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, you're going to say so yourself, because I wonder who painted that car. Mr. Sam?
Actually, he painted it himself. I only sent him the logo.
Really?
Yeah. So Ryan Jones actually reached out to me and asked for the logo, and I was more than happy to provide it. So Ryan Jones coming out of turn 4 now. Let's see what he can put down. He's already put down 1 lap. This is his 2nd lap, and he's going to be another driver that goes down to that apron now as he comes down towards the line. Comes off the apron ever so slightly, crosses the line. That will be a 51.127, and actually a 51.16. Yeah. For some reason that was actually off of Ogle's time, 51.127. I apologize for that. As we go take a look at Evan Pienta now in the global Down syndrome awareness machine.
Beautiful number 16 Ford Mustang making time around the track, bringing her up to speed. He's holding it down low, so he's got to be on his fast lap, 2nd lap for qualifying.
Yep. As he comes down across the line now. Let's see what this one does for Pienta. And that will be P7 for the 16.
P7 for the 16. So that leaves the number 65 at Jeff Acevedo in the McDonald's entry out there. He's on his 2nd lap, holding it down low to that yellow line. See if he uses that apron or not. Notice the difference. It's almost a full second difference using that bottom lane versus that top lane. But that top lane is where you build the momentum to give you the fast, short way around the track, 2nd lap.
Yep, as it comes out of turn 4. Let's see what he can do in that McDonald's number 65 as he comes down to the line. I'm guessing he might be the last one to get a qualifying time in as he goes up to P7, displacing Pienta, who had just put that 7th place time in for his run. So good run by the 65.
Yeah, qualifying, only 20 seconds left in qualifying. We're not going to get another shot at it. So it looks like Thomas Ogle holding down your pole with a lap of 52.128. That is what we call, ladies and gentlemen, hauling the mail. But I want you to take a look at this, Sam. Top 5 positions separated by only 4 1/100ths of a second.
Yeah, pretty close here at Talladega, as you would expect for these drivers, as qualifying is over. And that means we get to go to the grid section of this program. So starting up on the pole for this Global Down Syndrome 300 at Talladega will be Thomas Ogle. He'll be joined in the front row by Eric Harley. Row 2 will be John Mullins and Ryan Jones. Row 3 will be Stephen Holmes and Jeff Pogo. Row 4 will be Jeff Acevedo and Evan Pienta. And row 5 will be Daniel Dill and Justin Winters, Byron.
Yeah, go ahead and finish her out. Mine's still populating my timing and scoring. I'm on a different timing and scoring machine than you are.
Okay, row 6 will be Christopher Lawrence and Jared Hagedorn. Row 7 will be CJ Gates and Jeff Chandler. Row 8 will be Randy Bechdel, and Chase Barry. Row 9 will be Jeff Winter and Robert Dudley. Rounding out your field of 20 drivers here at Talladega will be Cody Lobush and Cameron Colby. So that is your field of 20 due to take the green here for this Global Down Syndrome 300 here at Talladega. We thank you very much for joining us for this one. This is going to be a fantastic race for everybody to enjoy, and we hope that you do enjoy the show that is put on here tonight. Don't forget, this is the first broadcast of 2021. We hope everybody had a fantastic Christmas and a fantastic New Year. I know we did. We had the last race of 2020 with the Sim Racers Edge, the Midwest Mayhem 400 at Michigan. Now we're starting things off with some pure stock car racing, and for a good cause. They've raised over $600 here tonight at Talladega for a great cause. And Byron, it doesn't matter how much you put in. It's always always good to see people put money in, but for $600, that's pretty impressive for these guys.
Yeah, and like I said, the iRacing community comes together with a lot of great events like this, and I'm proud to be a proud member of ESBN has the privilege of bringing you this coverage. As we see the cars all starting to group up, we're going to fire. Lights are off in the Ford Mustang pace car, and we are going to fire them off in anger. They're just now coming down the Alabama gang's backstretch, and we're going to be going green, and we're going to go for 115 laps here at Talladega.
Yeah, and it's Thomas Ogle that gets the control of the field once the pace car does dip off into pit road. And let's see how this one pans out. Cameron Colby starting at the back. Now, actually, Chase Barry has opted for an EOL, so he's going to be starting from the back this time, Byron.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter where you start. It all matters where you finish. And let's face it, starting position at a super speedway early in the race doesn't make a difference, because we've seen it how many times. You can go from the outhouse to the penthouse, back to the outhouse, all the way back to the penthouse in a matter of only a lap and a half.
Yeah, as we're looking at the field just making the way through turns 3 and 4 at pace speed, as you'd expect with these guys. And we look nothing more forward to the start of a fantastic new year. 2021, 2020 is out of the way. 2021 is here, and a fresh start for everybody else who's had such a terrible year. And we're going to start things off in style now. Thomas Ogle has control of the field as they come through the tri-oval now, and he will have the button once the green flag comes out into the air, and he comes through the tri-oval now, past the Geico sign, past the Coca-Cola sign, down towards line. 2021 is here, and the first race of the new year has begun, and Thomas Ogle will hit the loud pedal, bring everybody else with him, and he will go flying down towards turn 1 for the first time in 2021, Byron.
Yeah, normally when you hit the loud pedal, it's all about, see you boys, I'm out of here, catch me if you can. But we're at a super speedway. You hit the loud pedal, you get too far out there by yourself on your own. Everyone else in the draft, you are what they call a quack sitting duck.
Yeah, and let's see how this one pans out now as they come down the backstretch for the first time here. It's Thomas Ogle leading John Mullins in towards turn 3. Now that outside line not really picking up. Ryan Jones just faltering ever so slightly as they come out of turn 4 now to complete the first lap of 2021 here on ESBN. And let's see if Ogle can hold on. He will. The 8 of Eric Holly will go to the outside lane just in front of Ryan Jones, but the first lap of the new year will go to Thomas Ogle as he fires off in towards turn 1, Byron.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that outside lane was getting very much momentum built up there, and then all of a sudden the 8 of Holly jumped up to grab that lead of that outside line. He's got a lot of help behind him, and look at that outside line making hay now, but oh my God, that looks to be almost a 4-wide move as someone gets shuffled all the way to the outside line on heading off into turn 3 and 4, but I think that's the that's the 16 of
that's Evan Pienta that's been shuffled out.
Yeah, he's shuffled out. He looks like he's just going to drop back and ride it a little bit because business is picking up at the front of this thing. But ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how much you know how hard it is to keep these cars straight and not weaving side to side going at speed around a super speedway. These guys, look at that conga line, Sam. It is not very much weaving back and forth, side to side going on with this group.
And it's going to be interesting to see how the tyre model, the updated tyre model that they got in this most recent build, will hold out with the super speedway speeds. Obviously, tyre treads are going to be worn down a lot quicker with how how hard they run the car. Also, the track dynamics have changed as well. It's a bit more realistic with how you control, how the track heats up, how it cools down, how it wears down. It's going to be very interesting to see how these guys can handle these new dynamics. Well, they've had about 3 weeks to get used to it, but it's still going to be pretty new for these guys, even though it's been about 3 weeks now.
Yeah, it's going to be a new thing for everyone to get used to. I did do a little bit of checking. We do have one fast repair, and we do have 4 sets of tires for tonight's race. What you start on and 3 additional. So these guys are probably going to be, when they hit that first fuel stop, they're going to be checking their tire wear, seeing, okay, how far can I go on a set of Dr. Feelgoods?
Yeah, and you see John Mullins just pushing the living daylights out of Thomas Ogle there as he comes towards turn 3. Ryan Jones and Eric Holly still leading that outside line, but not really up to speed. You can see not as many cars on the outside line compared to the inside line. We've got 6 up there already. We've got Jeff Pogo in the number 4 pushing Ryan Jones there. We've got an FU Cancer a car behind him. That is Justin Winters up there as well as the number 2 of let me just find out, of CJ Gates up there too. We've actually got 2 number 2s out there actually, so that's going to make things less confusing.
Custom numbers are on. CJ Gates in mine, he's number 2, and who's got the other number 2 out there?
Hagedorn.
Gotcha.
So Jared Hagedorn does have the other number 2, but he's actually the number 18 as they come out of turn 4 once again to complete another lap. Bit of a wiggle there by John Mullins coming out of turn 4. That might have unsettled him a little bit. Might need a new fire suit, because these guys going at the speeds they are, you do not want to have a moment like that John Mullins just had there.
No, you don't. And that one, it makes you kind of suck your breath in and go, okay, and it makes you grip that steering wheel just a little bit tighter. As you go around, you get a little bit of a wiggle. Maybe this new tire model, when they're in the draft at speed, running that low line is maybe getting a little twitchy for them. Who knows?
Jeff Acevedo is right there behind the 9 of Stephen Holmes, who's made his way forward as well. These guys just controlling that inside line. Right behind them is Daniel Dill in the 81 as well. You can see him there in the global Down syndrome blue and white machine, blue and white Mustang actually, with I believe that is the 3 of Christopher Lawrence.
I'm taking a little bit, look a little bit back, further back in the field. I don't know if the car has an issue or tire going down or what. CJ Gates in the number 2 machine. He has won some very bold moves from up top side down to the bottom, and looks like he was having a little bit of trouble hanging on to that bottom line right behind the number 41 of 49 of Robert Dudley.
Yeah, and another man making big moves already in this race is Cameron Colby. Started at the back of the field, already up to P11 now. Great start for him in that number 38 machine. He is rocking the back the blue machine. I think I'm not really sure what that is, but he's in the number 38. He's made up some positions already, and that just goes to show how easily you can move your way up the field, even though we're only 8 laps in. Colby actually making some big strides already.
Yeah, we're running 70% fuel load here, so I look for these guys to probably run about 45 laps maybe, Sam, before we start seeing green flag stops. But right about now, these guys are shaking out what their car feels like. They're figuring out, what have I got? Where can I run this car? What's it going to feel like in the top line? How is it going to feel in the bottom line? What's it feel like to push? What's it feel like to be pushed? Right now, there's just a lot of, as a boxer in the ring, opening around, feeling things out, so to speak.
Absolutely, as they made their way through the trioval once again. We are about to start lap 9 of 115 here, and it's going to be interesting to see who can come out on top of this one. Only 20 drivers starting in this one, but managed to raise quite a considerable amount of money in such a short amount of time. So good on these guys. But this is what they're racing for. They're racing for global Down syndrome awareness. And as a person that's dealt with people that have Down syndrome, I'm very happy to see that these guys have picked this charity for this particular reason, and they're racing it out hard tooth and nail for such a great cause.
Yeah, it's a great cause, and these guys are actually out there putting on one heck of a show. 20 cars out there running this tight for that long, you know, it is early opening stages of the race. We're only 10 laps into this thing, but my God, it's already going by quick, fast, and in a hurry as these guys are really hauling the mail.
Yeah, they are. You've got Stephen Holmes leading the outside line now, just ahead of the 8 of Eric Holly. And the 64 of John Mullins there, just going up half a lane there. That might have scared the number 9 into backing off, but no, it has not, as he makes a big run forward in towards turn 3. Not quite close enough to challenge Thomas Ogle just yet, but he's getting closer and closer as more cars are joining that outside line as the laps tick off here.
Yeah, these guys are giving a lot of, respect on the track. They're not really racing each other super tight, because let's talk about aerodynamics. You know, you want to keep the fenders straight. You want to keep the bumpers straight on these things, because every little bit helps keep that car on the track, helps, give you the traction and the ability to go the way the air flows over these things. But there is a phenomenon we call side drafting. When you get these cars side by side on the track, and then all of a sudden you see them pinch down to where you can't put but a piece of paper in between them on the doors. What they're doing is they're taking the airflow away from that car, shoving it up under the rear, the quarter panel fender, and making that car not be able to pull very well. You're going to see that start to happen here before too long. But these guys are giving a lot of respect. When that side drafting comes in, that's where that outside line is going to get its momentum.
Absolutely, as Thomas Ogle leads them across the line now for another lap led here. He's led the most laps, he's led every lap so far in this one as we start lap 12 of 1:15. We're closing in on 100 laps to go here already. These guys running very tight but very clean so far. Don't expect that clean racing to be lasting all race long, as you know, even though this is a charity race, people have put money towards it. They will not keep this clean all the way through here, Byron.
No, heck no, man. But, every race that I get into, my ego says you're going to win. To tell you the honest truth, folks, I have never lost a race that I've been in. I've been behind when we ran out of time, but I've never lost.
That's debatable, but okay, we'll stick with that one as they come across the line again. Thomas Ogle leading another lap there, 2/100ths of a second ahead of Stephen Holmes there, who's still fighting on that outside line, being pushed by Eric Holly, and Holly not exactly in line there, just probably jumping up about half a lane there just to get some air to the engine. He's been behind that number 9 for a good couple of laps now. That's going to be heating the engine up by quite an amount there.
Yeah, you get a little bit of temperature on these engines at these speeds. That oil temperature gets up a little too hot. Guess what? Engine go boom.
That it does, as the
engine go boom. Engine go boomy boom. More go zoomy zoom.
Well, they do have the fast repair in their pocket, so that might help them in the long run. They might go about a lap or two down, though. Depends on where the engine goes boom on the track. If it goes boom out between 3 and 4, you can probably get it back to pit road, but if it goes boom around about now, there's probably absolutely no chance you're going to have to tow it as they come out of turn 2 there. It's turn 2. Just a couple of people getting a bit loose there out of turn 2. I wonder if that's going to be a bit of a problem later on.
Yeah, like I said, right now they're feeling the car out. They're checking how things work in the draft, outside line, inside line. Well, unless your name's Thomas Ogle, he has glued that thing to the bottom lane. He says, I'm going catfishing, boys, and if you want me off of this lane, you're going to have to root me off of this lane. I don't know how they're going to be able to get around him without using the chrome horn. And that, using the chrome horn on this track, it can be quite dangerous.
Yeah, and it can also cause multiple crashes. Now, I've noticed something that Stephen Holmes was doing about half a lap ago there. He was coming down half a lane right next to the car to him. Now that, for those that don't know about super speedway racing, that is what's known as side drafting. Byron, you might be able to shed a bit more light on what side drafting is.
What side drafting is what he's doing is he's coming down, taking the air off of that car next to him, and shoving it right into the quarter panel fender, the rear wheel fender of the car next to him. What it does is it slows the car next to him down and speeds him up. You want to use that side draft to make a pass like that, but the bad thing about doing that is you got to have a lot of trust in that driver you're going to side draft, because all he has to do is shake the steering wheel just once and you touch doors and you got a big issue, as we have a change for the lead right now as John Mullins moves his number 464 machine to the point.
That he does, and Thomas Ogle dropping to third place there as Jeff Acevedo is making a big stride there on the outside line. It was actually Mullins that managed to use Acevedo and use a little bit of a gap that came up there to get himself in front now. Now, we got one drop in bad there. That is the number 9 of Stephen Holmes. He's dropped back quite considerably. He's realised, nah, I don't want to be the chaser. I just want to stay out of trouble, and drops back.
Plus, we're about lap 17 right now of 115, and you got to figure 70% fuel load on these cars. These guys are now starting to think about, okay, we're racing fine. Things are going good. I'm just checked out where my car feels like here, feels like there. Late in the run, early in the run. Now I got to set myself up for pit stops. Now you got to have guys talking to each other, because if we're going to have green flag pit stops, you do not want to come to the pits by yourself. You need to come with a friend or two.
Yeah, as you see, Holly going up half a lane again, trying to get some air to that engine as they come out of turn 4 there, and you see actually Holly's actually given that up now. He's decided to back out of it and go up to that high lane and stay out of the way. Acevedo going to join him up there as well. That's going to let Ryan Jones in through the middle. That might actually help the number 91 here as they come through turns 1 and 2. He's going to go through, and he's going to bring Justin Winters right with him.
Yeah, you got to also be wondering if these guys are also setting themselves up. Now, look, they've been out running, Ogle, he ran how many laps out there in the lead, Sam? And all he had to do was just hold that throttle all the way to the floor. He had his foot, he didn't just have it on it. He had it in it, on it, all around it, and through it, never lifting. Well, if you're riding, say, 3rd or 4th in your line in the draft, you don't need to have that throttle all the way down. You could run that throttle 3/4 to 1/4 and keep your position, and that's saving a lot of fuel. I see a lot of guys, a little bit of strategy, might be some fuel saving going on. Let me give up the point, and I'm not going to lead this lap, but I'm also going to save this amount of fuel. It'll help me out later on in the run.
Yeah, as the great thing about super speedway racing is the fact that it may look fast, but in the car it looks like slow motion. So you do, in the back of your mind and your reaction speed, it does give you time to react to anything that goes on. And obviously Ryan Jones saw that gap and reacted almost at an instant, and just took that gap straight away and pushed Holly and a few others back, and now they're back in the mid-pack, whilst Ryan Jones now leading that outside line, being pushed by Justin Winters. But the only problem is for those two now, they don't really have any help up there on that outside line.
No, the only way they're going to hold it is they need to side draft that inside line while they're nose to tail. That's the only chance they have of keeping up until help forms up behind them. But it looks like it's coming right now in the shape of Steve and CJ Gates.
Yeah, you just see them right there. CJ Gates is right there. We've got one jumping up there. That is Cameron Colby, actually. That jumped up a lane there, and he's right behind Gates now as they come through turns 1 and 2, 3 and 4, sorry. As they come down towards the start-finish straight now. This is getting interesting. They're getting very chippy now. We're 21 laps in. Now, we've seen a lot of people starting to make those aggressive moves already, Byron. Is it too early to be making those kind of moves at this point?
Well, right now, you're just feeling your car out. You're trying to set yourself up for what am I going to have in the car when it comes time to really be making aggressive moves. We're calling them aggressive moves right now. Trust me, these guys they're playing, pity-patty right now. There has been no such thing as aggression happen yet. Once we get with about 20 to go, instead of the first 20, we'll be seeing aggressive then.
As we're looking at Christopher Lawrence right now in that number 3 machine. Just holding station right there, not really doing anything. He's actually in the number 3 on his car, but it's actually the number 19 he is running. So another one running a custom number here tonight. He's got Robert Dudley right behind him. We haven't mentioned him much tonight in that number 49 Toyota. He's just running by himself pretty much at the moment.
Yeah, Robert Dudley just quietly working his way from where he started. He's just holding serve right now. He's not in a hurry. He knows there's a lot of race left in this thing, and we got some pit stops we got to make. You know, we got some moves to make. Yeah, I do have a fast repair in my hip pocket, but if I go a lap down trying to use it, guess what? It's going to be hell trying to get back to that lead lap. As these guys are just now starting to settle down, conga line starting to form. We're just going to see what we're going to happen until green flag pit stops. Probably going to be taking place in the next 10 to 12 laps.
Cody Lobo's trying to get up to the back of his teammate, which is Cameron Colby, but not really making any moves to the back of that number 38. Number 13 just dropping back ever so slightly in the Heatwave Motorsport. Heatwave Designs number 13, as there's the other Heatwave Designs number 38 just falling in line there. As you see him, Ryan Jones there still making a bid for the lead there. He still has Winters and he has Gates right behind him, but still that outside line not really working to his advantage. It's everybody, almost everybody, going single file now. And yeah, usually when they go single file like that, Byron, it signifies that pit stops are really not too far away now.
Yeah, there's that also being another thing. It's also kind of sending me some vibes on is how dicey is that outside lane on older tires now with the new tire model that we're running.
Well, they'll still be able to hold it up there. It's just everybody else just opting for the inside line now. We've got one dropping back there. I think that's Chase Barry. It's not Chase Barry. It's actually Jeff Winter in the 30. The only other driver on the outside line is he actually goes to the inside line. Just ahead of Cody Lobush, is actually fallen to the very back of the field now in the 13. Not really sure what's going on with him.
Pit stops are happening.
Yeah, I called it exactly as it was going to happen, and there we go. Pit stops are underway here for the first time here tonight at Talladega. And let's see who's going to win the first race off pit road here. And it's going to be John Mullins leading down Thomas Ogle, Ryan Jones, Jeff Pogo, Eric Harley, Stephen Holmes, Daniel Dills, Christopher Lawrence, Jared Hagedorn, Cody Lobush, and Cameron Colby all into pit road. As there is Thomas Ogle into his pit stall. As one actually missed his pit stall. I didn't quite see who that was. I think it might have been Cameron Colby. As there we go. And it's going to be John Mullins winning the race off pit road there, Byron.
Yeah, Stephen Holmes looked like he just drove all the way through pit lane.
It was Stephen Holmes that missed pit road though. I'm thinking he must have missed his pit stall, so he might have to go around again.
He might, yeah, and that is going to hurt him bad for track position because we had 11 cars come in on the front side. The other 9, all the other 9 are now on pit lane for the second group of green flag pit stops. I got my eyes on Stephen Holmes. He did not make any time in his pit box as Stephen Holmes now brings it in for the pit stop now. That has got to be one heck of a devastating run to miss your pit on that.
It is, as we're looking now at John Mullins, who's not really got any help right now. He's on his own. He's about half a second, almost half a second. Actually, he's almost half a second ahead of John Mullins. John Mullins is about half a second ahead of Ogle. He was about half a second ahead, and now Ogle latching onto the back of the 64. They should all bunch up again once these pit stops are over and done with, but Holmes is going to be the only driver that's going to miss out on all this, as Holmes is the only driver in pit road, so he is going to be really praying for a caution after this big mistake by the 9.
Oh, God, drama playing out for the number 9 of Stephen Holmes. I hate to see that happen. He's going to need a yellow flag, the great equalizer, to help him out here. But we saw the guys, they got all strung out coming out of pit road. It did not matter. Unless you had a dance partner right on your bumper, you weren't going anywhere, and the group behind you, as they group up, is going to catch Right now, we're looking at Mullins, Ogle, and Jones in a 3-car breakaway. Then you go back to Evan Pienta. Justin Winters kind of on his own. And then here comes a whole hornet's nest with Robert Dudley leading them all off of the pits from P7 on back.
And Jeff Chandler in pit road as well. I wonder if he's had a penalty. No, it's a standard stop for the man in the 33. I wonder actually if he's going to is taking tyres and then serving the penalty before he does that, because I've seen him in pit road already. He's back in there again, Byron.
Yeah, he is taking 4 tires. Now remember, these guys only have 4 sets of tires for this race and a fast repair. So, yeah.
Penalty
Jeff
for
Chandler sitting here. Yep, penalty. He's sitting. That is a long pit stop. He must have caught us speeding on pit road.
Yep, as he goes a lap down now, it's still John Mullins leading the singles. We've got a caution.
Caution.
We have a caution. It's Eric Holly in trouble. Let's take a look and see what's happened here. Oh, and he goes hard into the wall. He's had contact somewhere. That is a big, big crash there. Let's take another look and see what's happened here.
Looks like the number 4 just got into his tail just enough to take the air off the back of the tail, got him loose, and around he went.
Yeah, it looked like Christopher Lawrence was the man that he got into as well, into the side of, and that was enough to spin him around. And now Eric Holly becomes the first victim of that kind of side drafting that really gets you out of sync there, and he's going to have to burn a fast repair on that one, unfortunately, as that brings out the first caution of the night.
Now, let's stop and think about it. Okay, we've all made our pit stops. We don't need to go into pit. In fact, I'd be clutching my car or shutting the motor off as I'm under caution here, not thinking about tires, just taking a breather. But who did that help out the most? We saw Stephen Holmes miss his pit stop. He didn't get a penalty. He just missed his pit. Wisely just drove through, went around, stopped again, did not go a lap down, but guess what? This brings him back to the back of the field. Now we got Jeff Chandler, who is a lap down, was not part of that caution because of that penalty. Guess who's going to get the lucky dog? He's back around, back to the tail of the lead lap. These guys just got lifelines tossed at them.
Yeah, he did. As we're looking at Chandler now, he will get the lucky dog and get himself back on the lead lap now, as the 58-year-old from Priceville.
I'm loving that paint job on the 33 of Jeff Chandler. That Arbusi paint job, chrome, kind of looks like the ESBN paint job we see out there. There's 2 guys competing for paint job of the night.
As we've got wholesale pit stops going on here, Byron. They've only just made a pit stop, but they're coming in for a top off now as we get ready to receive every single driver down in pit road right now. Actually, Eric Holly actually made it back to pit road as well, and he will be able to remain on the lead lap, and he will be in contention once again. The only problem is he'll be back at the back of the field, and he will have to be super careful now after burning that one fast repair, as John Mullins wins the race off pit road again.
All right, 5.3 seconds in the pit stall for John Mullins. That tells me he took fuel only. Brian Jones, 7.8 seconds. That looked to be maybe a set of right side tires went on. I don't know. Justin Winters, 14.6 seconds. I think he might have forgot to uncheck those tires and burned another set.
He did. As a lot of people are going to be playing different strategies here as this race goes on, and we've already seen the strategies happen right now. Only fuel for some, 2 tires for others. It's going to be interesting to see how these pay off as we're looking at random drivers right now. We are looking at Ryan Jones, back at Thomas Ogle now. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how these strategies pay off, as we still have about 85 laps left in this race.
Yeah, this race is going by fast. That was a long way to go before caution came out, let me tell you. And it came out from guys going in and out of the pit lane in just what we call delta in racing, the difference in speeds when the 2 groups got together. After the first group made their pit stop, then the second group made theirs, and then you had cars closing in on other cars just a little faster, and that's kind of what happened. It might have been a bit of what we call net code that got him loose, or he just took the air clean off the back spoiler of that car, and he went around. But that was definitely this caution, it helped a couple of guys, didn't help one, but everyone's back on the lead lap. All 20 cars are going to fire off together.
That they are, as Eric Holly is down in P15 now after that incident for himself. He is going to have to make up some ground, but also going to have to be careful here. Already burned that fast repair, so he is going to have to drive carefully, but drive intelligently. Randy Bechtel in the number 58 machine, driving the Dryden machine. Usually a lot faster around here, not really showing his ace card just yet. Probably the best strategy you can probably play on these super speedways here, Byron. Just take it slow and slowly work your way to the front.
And some more takers for pit road. Okay, it looks like the guys that did not pit with that group for fuel only are now coming in to pit fuel only. And that would be Stephen Holmes, Evan Pienta, Jeff Acevedo. Those guys are coming back in, topping off their tanks. No, again, sorry. They came in the last time with that group. They're coming in a third time to just top off the tank. And big time strategies paying out. So I guess fuel is going to be a premium here. We're thinking fuel mileage race here.
Absolutely, as the lights go off on the pace car again. Byron, why don't you get us going for the first time tonight?
All righty. Taking a look at the front row, you got John Mullen. He's going to start onto his outside elbow. It's going to be Thomas Ogle. These guys have been the cream of the crop so far as they bring it down the Alabama Gang straight backstretch. Woo, that's a mouthful to say, let me tell you. And I haven't even had any dang Alabama moonshine tonight. But it's been a heck of a run so far. These guys have been showing that they can hold a pretty wheel. And I'm looking for an even better one. We're only working lap 31 of 115 at our first caution there. As they bring it down the into turn 3, lights are off on the Ford Mustang pace car. You're going to see the Mustang pace car take a hard left turn to pit lane. But I look for John Mullins to hold him down because remember, this is Talladega. That start-finish line is a lot further down than just the middle of the dog leg. It's further down towards turn 1. Mustang bringing him around. Mullins on the inside, Ogle on the outside. Mustang going to take that turn. He makes his move towards pit road. Drivers have control of the field, just waiting for the noise to happen. You'll know when the start goes because that's why we call it the loud pedal, ladies and gentlemen. That's the one you stand on that makes all the noise. Mullins holding down the field. Flag man has the flag. He hasn't waved it yet. Mullins is going to wait. He's holding. And he hits the loud pedal. Flag is out. Green is on. Mullins hits the loud pedal, brings it up through the gearbox, says, "See you boys, catch me if you can." And all the rest of the boys said, "What? We're right here." Back under green, heading off into turn 1.
As to go flying off in between turns 1 and 2. It's going to be John Mullins leading the way with Ryan Jones in second place. Thomas Ogle not really able to push the issue right now. He does have Robert Dudley right behind him. And here comes the help as well with, it looks like Randy Bechtel and Thomas and Jared Hagedorn right there as well. As actually Bechtel goes past. I don't think Hagedorn wants any part of this battle already, as there goes Bechtel and CJ Gates as well, moving his way forward as they come out of turn 4. It's going to be John Mullins leading them down towards the line once again and getting another lap led here at Talladega. Actually, that might have gone to Thomas Ogle.
I scored Thomas Ogle as the lead on that one.
Yeah, Dudley getting a bit out of shape there through turn 1. That might let Christopher Lawrence in, but Lawrence very wisely just dropping back into line there. Everybody getting a bit out of shape here on this last restart. Not the most conventional restarts we've seen so far in this race.
Normally we see the whole group stay together as they come up through the gearbox, but we've got like a 7-car breakaway and then the rest of the field further back. Another 4 cars, and then the rest of the field. I'm thinking, did someone spin some tires? Did someone not get up through the gears, miss a gear? Something happened that broke this field up. But these guys are starting to form up. As soon as they get that freight train formed a little bit, done jockeying for position, you'll see the whole group catch up again.
Well, Cameron Colby leading the way for the second pack here in this race, and he's got the 16 of Evan Pienta and the 52 of Justin Winters right behind him. Jared Hagedorn falling back to P12 after being up there from that restart. He doesn't want any part with it, but we've got Jeff Winter leading a whole bunch of cars behind him. Eric Holly, Jeff Pogo, Stephen Holmes, Jeff Acevedo, Jeff Chandler, Cody Lobush and Chase Barry all behind that number 30 machine, but it's John Mullen again with Robert Dudley now challenging on the outside line. Now can Dudley hold on and lead a lap here? It's going to be a resounding no, as John Mullen say, yeah, you're going to challenge me from the outside, you got to try and beat me first.
It looks like that outside line carries the momentum when you come off of turn 4. Oh. If the start-finish line, yeah, I saw that. If the start-finish line was at the dog leg like at Daytona, the outside line would have won that drag race, but it is further down by turn 1, and the inside line got its momentum back. That's why Dudley did not get credit for a lap led. Matter of fact, moved Dudley back to P4 as these guys are still shuffling.
Yeah, and Ryan Jones got completely shuffled out there while you were talking there, Byron. Just a bit of air taken off the rear end of his car and had to kind of save it there going up the track there, but he's fallen all the way back to P10 now. Gonna have to make that back very quickly as we're seeing John Mullins lead them across the line again and lead another lap, this time with Christopher Lawrence right behind him. Thomas Ogle falling to third.
Now, is it just me, Sam, or are you getting a vibe by watching this that the aggression meter has been turned up just a little bit? I'm sensing a little more tension on the track on this run than we did in that first green flag run.
Now, personally, I can't understand why there would be any tension, and we're only 36 laps into this race, let's not forget, so tension should not be a thing at this point. It should be just trying to control your car and try and get as far as you can in the safest way possible, and then maybe with 15 laps to go, that's when the aggression level gets up. But if the aggression,
I'm right there with you, but it just feels like the tension's there.
Yeah, some people are driving a bit more erratically than they were at the start of the race, which is probably not going to work in their favor in the long run, but we'll see how this one pans out. But at the moment, John Mullins leading the way with CJ Gates just having a bit of a wild one there going through 1 and 2.
Yeah, he's been having an issue with that car. He just wants to wander up on him off of the corner. I'm wondering if he's not hitting that entry just right, but it seems to want to wash up the track, and he's got to make a pretty substantial correction to bring it back down into that lane, which has got to be frustrating to Justin Winters, because Winters right behind him, he wants to move up to fill that spot. But when CJ Gates comes back down, if he's in that spot, he's going to get bumped, spin, see you bye.
Randy Bechdel making a run on the outside line, and look who's right with him. Ryan Jones trying to make his way back to the front as quickly as possible. He's going to lead an outside attack now, as there goes Robert Dudley going up to the high lane as well. So we've got a 3-car tango up on that outside line, and CJ Gates still struggling to hold a line down there in that number 2. He needs to get the car under control, otherwise it's going to end in tears for a lot of people in this race.
Yeah, you want to have that car under control, especially if you're running in the 4th, 5th position, and you've got 16, 17 cars behind you going, okay, what's going to happen here? That's where you see a lot of guys back off and just ride for a bit. But that outside line, Robert Dudley coming up to be the 3rd one in it, and we got a 4th taker up there. If he can catch that draft, there he goes. Outside line starting to take shape. These guys are wanting to get around that number 2.
Yeah, and that's Justin Winters jumping up to that 2nd lane again. There is Robert Dudley up there right in front of him. Dudley not really deciding where he wants to go as they come towards turn 1 once again. We're on lap 39 of 115 here at Talladega, and we've seen some pretty clean racing so far. The only incident we've seen so far here tonight was what caused the first caution involving Eric Holly, who unfortunately got that man who's right behind him right now, actually, Jeff Pogo, just got into the back of him, just knocked him a bit sideways, took the air off his rear end. Holly went actually into the side of Christopher Lawrence and then got speared back up into the wall. That was the cause of the first caution. So those of you just joining us, that's what's happened so far.
Working 10 laps now since that last caution. 11 laps on these guys taking fuel. 11 laps on these Dr. Feelgoods on there. tire strategy, we know they got 4 sets of tires. That's the one they started the race on, and 3 more sets. So don't know how their tire wear was. These guys got a good read on it after that first set of pit stops. But we only went, 24, 25 laps, and we were starting to see pit stops. We're getting towards halfway there, Sam.
If you could try and tell me what the fuel percentage is, it might actually tell us a lot as to how far they can run on a tank of fuel.
70% was the fuel load tonight.
So that is about 25 laps around Talladega, so that's about right. So, yeah, about 25 laps is about as much as they can get on a tank of fuel. Unless you're fuel saving, you can probably go about another 5, maybe 10 laps longer if you are hardcore fuel saving. The only way to do that is if you're drafting behind someone. You can just take your foot off the pedal a little bit there and just save the engine power. That burns less fuel, means you can go a bit longer. So I'm guessing a lot of drivers will be trying that at some point here tonight. Just not able to do it so far, as we've got a bit of a 3-wide situation there. CJ Gates stuck in the middle of that one, and the second lane being pushed by Robert Dudley.
CJ Gates got loose again coming off the corner, and it kicked him out a lane, and the guys, instead of wanting to run behind him, decided to make a 3rd lane to go around him, and that's why we're running 3 wide right now. CJ Gates is starting to drop like a stone. No drafting help coming there for him.
Colby getting loose.
Colby gets a little loose. Robert Dudley gets a little loose, but they hang on to it and save it, as nobody's wanting to run with Gates right now, as we have 2 cars in the outside lane. Gates is in the middle. Gates is going to go drop to the bottom line, fill that hole. Oh, man, these guys are starting to get a little bit froggy here.
And that was a new race suit worthy moment there for Cameron Colby, almost losing it completely through the tri-oval. Thankfully managed to save it. That Heat Wave Designs number 38 almost ended on the scrap heap if he didn't control that. So great save there by Cameron Colby, still able to hold on to P6, having a great run so far, already up 14 positions.
Yeah, don't take a look now, but that number 3 U.S. Army machine of Christopher Lawrence has worked his way up to the 2nd position. He's right there in front of Thomas Ogle, and right there behind John Mullins, who continues to lead this race.
Yeah, he is, as they make their way through 1 and 2 for the 43rd time here tonight. Robert Dudley actually leading that outside line now. CJ Gates behind him, Randy Bechtel and Ryan Jones right there as well. So that's your outside line for the moment. We do have a bit of a breakaway as well, as we're going to go back and find it. Evan Pienta is the last driver in that. We don't have a breakaway actually. Ryan Jones in the 91. Now he's one that has had a very eventful race so far here, Byron. He's been up, back and sideways and all that so far. He got shuffled out because of a bit of air taken off the rear end of his car, just trying to make his way back forward, just not able to have the opportunity yet so far.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to give him some feathers to the cap of the pilot of the number 91 machine, Ryan Jones, because look at that paint job on that car. What a beautiful, bright chrome paint job. And if I'm not mistaken, the letters on that car say ESBN. And if you're a driver wanting to catch some airtime, no matter where you're running in the pack, if you're racing on ESBN and you're wearing an ESBN sticker on your car, you're going to get a little bit of love.
A little bit. The car's looking a bit dirty now already, though. We're on lap 44, and there's all sorts of road rash all over it now, so yeah.
That'll buff right out. You know how they say, that'll buff right out.
Absolutely. As now we've got Justin Winters leading the outside line. He's jumped up now to try and get a lap led here. Obviously, no bonus points for leading a lap in this race. This is the Global Down Syndrome Awareness 300 here at Talladega. And yeah, it's a special race for charity. They've raised over $600 already for this event, so very much worth the event here, and very much a worthy cause, as Justin Winters making a big bid for the lead here on that outside line, being pushed by Robert Dudley and CJ Gates now. Justin Winters fancies a pop at this one here, Byron.
Yes, he does. As we saw that outside line, you know, it was trying through the beginning stages of this race and nothing happening. But that outside line starting to get a little bit more love from the drivers as, there we go. CJ Gates down into the side. That starts what you could almost call the big one. But, oh, my God, the talent of these drivers staying out of it.
Yeah, Robert Dudley getting the worst of that one. Let's take a look and see what happened here. Coming out of turn 4, and it was actually, I think that was Thomas Ogle getting loose there.
No, that was CJ Gates coming down into Thomas Ogle, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's go back and see, and we'll see it from a different perspective here. And you're right, it was Gates coming down into Ogle. Ogle going around, actually a great save by Ogle. And nobody really getting any serious damage from that one. That was pretty good. I thought we were looking at a big one right there.
Yeah, well, I want you to focus in on the driver of the number 8 car, Eric Hawley, and tell me if he didn't have a new underwear to the 8 pit, please. New underwear to the 8 pit moment. One heck of a wreck avoidance.
Yeah, he went all the way around. Actually, that was Robert Dudley. Let's go back and take a look from Eric Hawley's point of view. On the gyro cam, as has been requested, as you see all the smoke in front of him, did get hit there, went all the way sideways, and yeah, just somehow able to save it. And you know, Harley is already driving on a tightrope after burning his fast repair, so he's going to be thanking his lucky stars that he actually managed to make it through that one. As caution number 2 is out on the track right now, we are looking at Robert Dudley, who's fallen all the way to the back now, and we're seeing the field right behind the pace car once again. Expect those guys to come down pit road at this point here, Byron.
Yep, fast repairs are going to get used, I'll bet, or they're going to hold them in their back pocket. We are just shy of halfway in this race. Wholesale pit stops underway.
As you see them all make their way down towards their pit stalls right now. Thomas Ogle will be the first driver into. He'll be in the most forward pit stall anyway, but it's going to be John Mullins up there right with him as well, as everybody's going to bring it down now for their third stop of the night. As there we go. And Ogle actually, yeah, taking a fast repair there. That is going to be his fast repair done. As Justin Winters, looks like he might have gone for a splash and go there, Byron. As he makes his way out of pit road. He's got Ryan Jones out there with him as well. So, different strategies playing out here, Byron, to see how things work. Justin Winters taking a splash and go, and I'm pretty sure Ryan Jones did as well.
Sorry about that. Speaking of pit stops.
I wonder where you went. I was just saying, Justin Winters taking a splash and go there, as well as Ryan Jones. So, again, different strategies playing out here in this race.
Well, looks to me that Justin Winters splash and go. Ryan Jones tanked it up. John Mullins, 14.6 seconds in the pits. That tells me 4 tires and a tank of fuel.
Yeah, and Daniel Dill, I'm guessing he was pretty far back when they came into pit road, so I'm guessing he must have either taken 2 tires or just a splash of fuel.
8.4 seconds in his pit stall. I'm going to guess that was a tank of fuel, but it could have been 2 right side tires. Different strategies playing out. You know, I'm not the guy, you know, sitting on top of the pit box. You know, that's why they get paid the big bucks. Strategy, you know, do you have a set of tires in reserve for a late caution? Did you tank that thing up all the way, you know, just when you needed it, and then started saving, clutching it in, killing the motor under caution, you know, slow rolling the corners, doing what you can to make sure you're there at the end. That's all strategy that goes into this thing. But you know what? It also doesn't matter. We have what we call the great equalizer, folks. That caution comes out. We're going to re-rack them, stack them, pack them, and do it again. And don't forget, at the end of the race, the one last thing, and yes, Sam, I'm going to say it, green watch checker, can come right out and get us with it, green watch checker. I don't know how many of these green watch checkers they're going to give us.
We don't even know, but we'll find out as the race comes to that point. But you know what? I'm actually we're talking about pit stop times here. 14 seconds, right? 2022 is when the Gen 7 car makes its debut. Now, how much time is it going to take off the pit stops, knowing that they only have 1 lug to remove to remove that wheel?
Well, they've already been testing on that, and I was reading a few articles about that. Believe it or not, It is not okay. If you go back, just go back, say 5 to 10 years in NASCAR, they have shaved a pit stop from down to that 14-second mark from what they were in the 20-second plus mark. Now they're down to 14 seconds with the one lug knockoff, the one lug like the F1 style, like the Indy style. There's not much of a difference. They were talking less than a second difference on the pit stop.
And not to mention they'll have the low profile tire as well, I think, so it's going to make things a bit more interesting on that point of view.
You're still limited by physics, the amount of gravity inside that fuel tank to make the fuel run into this fuel cell.
Oh yeah, they're still sticking to the old-fashioned big can of gas in the back of the car. They're not going to be switching to the fuel gun just yet. So
now Indy runs the fuel gun. Shoot, Formula One, they start whatever's in the tank. That's in the tank. They don't stop for fuel. They only take tires.
That's why Formula One's always good for fuel economy, right? It's those hybrid engines in the back. It's what does it. Anyway, we're about ready to go back racing again here as they come through 3 and 4. As we switch to the TV camera once again, and they are coming through turn 4 again. A lot of drivers single file. That's because they took a later pit stop than everybody else. Actually, they've probably been back in pit road again, as it's Thomas Ogle who's restarting at the very back of the field here. Byron got a lot of ground to make up as all 20 drivers still on the lead lap as they come out of turn 4 down towards the tri-oval. Pace car is off.
Pace car makes its move towards pit road. They got to make it around the tri-oval, get around that dog leg, and get towards that green flag, which is waving down there by turn 1. Sam, bring us to green.
Yeah, as they make their way for the tri-oval again, we're going to be restarting with on lap 50 of 115 here at Talladega, and it's going to be Justin Winters going to bring him back to the green. As green flag flies, we are racing once again here at Talladega for the Global Down Syndrome Awareness 300, and Justin Winters going to lead them in towards turn 1. Poor restart there by Ryan Jones, being pushed by Daniel Dill. Probably not going to be enough here as there goes John Mullins up to second place now, and it looks like Cameron Colby's going to follow him through as well.
I don't think it was so much a bad restart by Ryan Jones as it was by the car right behind him, pushing on him, because everyone else was up in the draft and he was kind of hung out by himself. But now the draft is kind of sucking up behind Ryan Jones. Outside lane starting to get a little bit of chugga moving in it, and look for him to move on up. But right now, all the help is down low as the second lane, the best they can do is 4th, 5th position.
Yeah, so Colby will have 3rd place across the line. But it's Justin Winters who leads his first lap of the night. He's actually his first lap under anger of the night. He's obviously been at the front since the pit stop. So, but the outside line now, Randy Beckdahl has actually joined that outside line behind Daniel Dill. So, a bit more help there for that guy as we've got one dropping down to the. Well, trying to drop down, that would be the 16 of Evan Pienta trying to drop down behind Jeff Pogo. Now he's got the room to drop down, but he's still opting for that second lane there, Byron.
Yeah, these cars kind of look like they're a little unsettled on fresh tires until those tire temperatures come up, get a little bit of heat on them for a couple of laps on there. Still a little froggy, guys, just riding it. Justin Winter still holding down the pack down in that low lane. He's got, John Mullins right on his tail. John Mullins has been up here in the top 4, top 5 all night long. And taking a look now, who started at the back of the field on when the green flag fell? He's already picked himself up 4 positions, and that'd be Thomas Ogle.
Yeah, and he's just ahead of TJ Gates, who was the man that started off that big incident there that brought out the second caution of the night. He's got Jeff Winter and Jeff Chandler around him. That is Chase Barry at the back of the field there, not really trying to get himself into any trouble right now. As we go back to the front of the field here, Ryan Jones has got a run on Justin Winters, but doesn't have enough of a run to take the lead away here. John Mullins giving Winters the right push he needed to stay out in front right there.
Yeah, it looks like that outside lane loses its momentum just as they come off of a turn. They got that high side momentum coming off of the turns, but when they get to the flat a little bit, all of a sudden that inside line just starts to chug a move as we got one moving high to kind of fall back. That would be
Daniel Dill.
Global Machine, yeah.
So Daniel Dill opting to back out of it now. That's going to leave John Mullen up on the second lane. Now he's moved up. We kind of missed that one. He's right in front of Ryan Jones now, and he might lead a lap here. He's got a big push off Ryan Jones as they come through the tri-oval. And it's going to be John Mullins leading a lap here. He's got space to come down. Is he going to try and bring Ryan Jones with him? The answer is yes as they both go to the front.
Not only did he have enough momentum to lead that lap from the outside lane, Ryan Jones had second on that lap on the outside lane, and you saw it. They both decided, you know what, we're out front, let's move down. Ryan Jones says, hey, I watched you do it from the top, let me try it. Ryan Jones to the outside, heading off to turn 3.
Yeah, and he's got Randy Bechtel and Robert Dudley right behind him, so let's see how this one pans out for him. Does he get a good enough push like he gave the push to John Mullins? The answer is probably not. Bechtel not really playing ball there as they come out of turn 4 down towards the line, but let's see how this one pans out anyway. As they come to the line, it might be John Mullins with a nose out in front as they come down across the line to start lap 55, and it will go to Ryan Jones.
Ryan Jones
just got it there.
You know, I think it boils down to the comfort level of that outside lane about bump drafting around that dog leg. You know, if you're able to get right up on the rear bumper of the car in front of you, and that car in front of you does not mind you bumping and pushing him as you work your way around that dog leg, that outside lane can get some serious momentum headed off towards the start-finish line out there by turn 1.
Yeah, Bechtel did give Jones the push he needed to get that lead away at the line. Can he do it again here as they come through 3 and 4? To start lap 56 of 115. We are literally 60 laps to go here at the line, and it's actually Mullins getting a much better push from Justin Winters there, and Mullins will lead another lap here. So Winters actually really doing the job he's supposed to do right behind that number 64 right there, and he will lead another lap right now. Yeah,
these guys are they pretty much figured, okay, I like my car the way it feels right where I'm at, and they are running, and picking them up, putting them down, dialing the intensity just a little bit more as we bring them around, working lap 56 of 115. Cross flags are going to be in the air as we, not when we cross the start-finish line this time, but when we cross the start-finish line one more time, cross flags will be in the air. We're halfway home.
Yeah, as whilst you were talking there, Ryan Jones managed to get that push from Randy Bechtel on the outside, and he has taken over the lead. He gets a lap led here at Talladega for this special race, and very much well deserved for Ryan Jones. He's been pretty much the driver of the day so far. Really showing his hand early and really paying off for himself as well.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to catch a lot of heck from everyone if we give ESBN Driver of the Night to a guy wearing an ESBN paint job. But you know what? The only way he gets that award is if he earns it. And right now he's showing that he's trying to earn it. But you know what? He's got one of the best in the race so far. It's been cream of the crop the whole night. John Mullins is right on his tail. And John Mullins, all Ryan Jones has to do is bobble once and Mullins is gone.
Yeah. Well, he won't be gone because obviously Talladega is always pack racing, so that's not going to happen. One driver we haven't spoken about in quite a while is Jeff Acevedo. He's all the way back down there in P16, just behind Evan Pienta. Now, he was one of the top qualifiers now, falling backwards, and just like I said earlier with Cameron Colby, it's easy to make your way up through the field as quickly as possible. It's also very easy to drop yourself back very quickly, and unfortunately, Acevedo and Pienta have fallen all the way back. One driver who's completely fallen off is this man, CJ Gates. That damage on his car really starting to rear its ugly head now as he's really off the lead pack now.
Yeah, well, the car that I'm kind of paying attention to, and I was watching kind of slowly and off the radar. Take a look at your timing and scoring and look at the P9 position and tell me, what do you see?
Thomas Ogle back up in the top 10 once again. Great move for him. Robert Dudley getting shuffled out there by the 3.
That's going to move Ogle up even further. as Dudley kind of holds it out there on a third lane. It looks, if you look at him coming down the backstretch, it looks almost like four wide racing.
Look at Daniel Dale just doing a bit of weaving there. Trying to do the Indy Snake in a NASCAR. And a couple
doesn't always work out that way. Ryan Jones still got command of the field out in front of Justin Winters and Cameron Colby. These guys at outside lane looks like he can get the job done, but just doesn't have enough help forming up behind it.
No, he doesn't, and that's unfortunate there for John Mullins. Doesn't really have the help up there. Bechtel's backed off. The only one that's helping him now is Christopher Lawrence, who's still right there. Bechtel falling back, and he's got Robert Dudley still right there with him. Stephen Holmes starting to make his way forward. Thomas Ogle now, he's just absolutely flying his way through the field, already up to P7, already looked to P6, and he has got P6 away from the 13 of Cody Lobush. So Ogle determined to make his way back to the front very quickly.
Ever since CJ Gates got into the side of him there and causing that last caution, man, Ogle seems to be driving like he's got an appointment to be somewhere at a certain appointed time. He is moving with a little bit of purpose in his motion out there in the track. Good Lord, you just watched him move from dead last of outhouse all the way up to damn near the penthouse.
Yeah, he's almost there. Just got to collect the keys from reception, and he's already up to that penthouse anyways. He's on the outside of Cameron Colby now as they come out of turn 2. Ryan Jones now, as you see, John Mullins has occupied that outside line now, and he's being pushed by the 3 of Christopher Lawrence, and now he will make his way to the front now, take it down, but Lawrence just literally ran out of room there, made some room for himself, good there, but a bit too nervous to come down there, very hesitant in that number 3 there.
Yeah, he had plenty of clearance all the time, but you know what? That shows you the respect and the caution that they're using. He knows that maybe I've already used a fast repair. There's already been a big one. You know what? And then also, look at the class of Ryan Jones. Ryan Jones could have moved up and filled that hole, but he saw the 3 trying to come down, and he says, I'm going to let you have it. I'm going to give it to you. I'm not going to race you this hard this early.
Yeah, it made it very difficult for himself, though. Did Lawrence, but he's up there now. As now Thomas Ogle leading the outside line with the 58 of Randy Bechtel still there and Robert Dudley still there. So Bechtel and Dudley just happy to be pushers right now, not really going to try and make a bid for the lead themselves right now.
Well, we've seen it earlier in the race, Sam, and I'm starting to see it now. Does it kind of look like to you that the conga line is starting to get stretched out on the bottom? Guys are starting to sort themselves out to get down to that lower lane. What does that signify to you?
Pit stops, possibly. We'll find out in just a second.
Pit stops for possibly 16 laps. We were running on this tank of Go Fast in the set of Dr. Feelgoods on the car. Guys have got to be wanting some fuel here pretty soon. They're starting to jockey for position to get down to that low lane so they can make that run to pit lane. You don't want to go by yourself, but you don't want to go, at the last second with the group and then just, wad everyone up heading to pit lane. We saw, half the field go one time and then the other half the second time? Let's see what happens this time.
And we'll find out in just a second as they come down to complete another lap here. And nobody opting for pit road just yet. As they come down towards turn 1, it's going to be Mullins leading another lap here. With Lawrence in second place.
I'm going to say we're about 3 more laps before we see him drop down to pit lane.
Well, if they're only done 16, 17 laps, they've probably got another 8 laps in their pocket there, so probably don't need to just yet, but we'll find out in just a second. But you see Justin Winters still leading that outside line, being pushed by Dudley and Ogle. Bechtel's actually Bechtel's actually dropped off there. He's gone all the way down to P15. Decided to back out of it right now. So, and it's going to be Justin Winters who's going to lead this lap here as they come down towards the line. Big push there from Robert Dudley, and Justin Winters leads that lap.
Yeah, well, they're going to have another little something in their minds because don't look too far in front of the nose of the leader, but you're going to find the back end of the number 2, CJ Gates, as this whole lead pack is coming up on that car out there running by his lonesome.
Yeah, Gates, who was involved in the second caution here tonight, that damage not really working in his favour. He's about to be put one lap down. You see the rear end damage on that number 2 Chevrolet. As here comes the lead pack. Justin Winters now has the lead out in front with Robert Dudley right behind him as they come out of turn 4 right now. And Gates doing the wise thing there and getting out of the way. Dudley just looking for a bit of air to that engine. All he's been doing all race long, since the drop of the green flag. After that second caution, has just been pushing, so no surprise he's trying to get some air to that number 49.
Yep, as we see the whole, I don't see a second line out there at all right now. That tells me we're probably going to be seeing green flag stops coming up here as the whole field has gone conga right now. Nope, take that back. Ryan Jones stepping out.
Yep, Jones probably just getting some air himself. He's been doing a lot of pushing himself as there goes the 3 of Christopher Lawrence back up to 4th place now as he's making his way forward. There goes Cameron Colby as well. Cody Lobush, his teammate, right behind him as well, as Ryan Jones going to fall backwards. Still no pit stops. Just everybody happy to run single file right now.
Yeah, you see how far Ryan Jones stepped out of line all by his lonesome out there. He was, 3rd or 4th? And you see how far and fast he's dropping with no drafting help, with the whole pack just running nose to tail to his inside.
Yeah, and that is the case there as the single file conga line still continuing right now. Stephen Holmes back in P9 right there. He's just ahead of the 18 of Jared Hagedorn, who still hasn't really pushed forward yet. Eric Holly, after his big wreck earlier and burning that first fast repair, is in P11, just knocking on the door of the top 10, not quite close enough. He has Jeff Pogo for company right behind him.
And here comes...
Nobody.
Nope, they're going to hold it out there again. It looked like Dudley was getting ready to duck down with his partner there, but not going to happen.
I think he was trying to get some air to that engine again. He seems to be probably struggling with a bit of heat there. So he's probably just trying to cool that engine down still. He's been doing it quite a lot all night. He's been doing a lot of pushing, and that engine's probably screaming, yeah, I'm too hot. Please cool me down, otherwise your race is over, mate.
John Mullins moving himself up to the top lane right in front of Ryan Jones. Ryan Jones was holding strong on the outside lane by himself. Looked like he was even starting to pass some more cars. Now he's got some help in the manner of John Mullins out there right on his nose. Look for these two to be gaining and try to make that move back to the front like they did before.
Yeah, and it depends on how much side draft they can get side draft off Christopher Lawrence. Now it's going to be, they pull out a little bit of a gap between themselves and Robert Dudley, and a bit unusual there as they get close again, going through 1 and 2. It's going to be interesting. We're going to be hitting lap 70 next time by. That means we are getting ever closer to that 100 mark here, Byron. Question is, how many more pit stops can take? And oh my goodness me, that's a big wreck. Justin Winters is getting into the side of John Mullins, and Mullins might have blown his engine right there. No, he hasn't. I can still hear it going, but a lot of smoke pouring out the back of that number 64.
Oh, the Robert Dudley just getting up into him, just onto the back of Justin Winters. Went to bump draft, but he happened to be moving across his bumper as he did the bump draft, and it just got him loose and spun him around. Oh, what a heartbreak for Justin Winters. I hope he has that fast repair.
I think he does, so he should be okay, but big incident there, another big one. We were just gearing up for green flag pit stops, and Ryan Jones being scored as the leader after that one, as well as everybody just shuffling out the way, as there is John Mullins with that smoking engine, just trying to make his way back to pit road. I hope that doesn't blow his engine as the smoke just bellowing out the back there right in front of Thomas Ogle.
Now Thomas Ogle is sitting right behind him in that smoke. You know, are they teammates? Because it looks like Thomas Ogle's getting ready to push him into the pits if he needs it.
Probably not. He's probably just been told to stay behind him, like as iRacing usually does. And you see Ogle just stepping out of line there. He doesn't want to be caught in that smoke. That's going to completely smog up his windshield here as they all stop to wait for the pace car, I think. And note they're just coming up to the pace car now. They were just backing off and waiting for the pace for the pit road to open, I think. And there is Mullins just coming down to pit road. Robert Dudley is coming down with that damage on the front of his car. Ryan Jones is in pit road. Cameron Colby, Christopher Lawrence, John Mullins with that smoking car down in pit road as well. Cody Lowbush, Thomas Ogle, Stephen Jones, everybody coming down to pit road now. And Justin Winters.
CJ Gates is gonna get his lap back in the lucky dog position, but wholesale pit stops happening for everybody. Is it gonna be 4 tires for everyone? Is it gonna be fuel only? I have to wait and see.
You got to think at this point they've got to take 4 tires because they still have those extra tires in hand, so they might as well use them.
All right, John Mullins in and out of the pits, 14.9 seconds. Fast repair used.
Yep, so he didn't really lose anything from that. We have had a retirement, though. We didn't see it happen, but Chase Barry out of this race now, unfortunately. And he will have to give up the ghost there on this one and call it a night early, get a beat on traffic. As we're looking at Daniel Dill right now. He passed straight through pit road there. Probably missed his pit stall, just like Stephen Holmes did earlier. And,
right side tires only for Ogle in the 23.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's probably what left him out in front, but there is Ogle. There is John Mullins. Very lucky to have been able to keep that car going into the pit stop, so he's able to keep going. The biggest loser out of that one, I think, is Robert Jones. Ryan Jones, sorry, he's fallen all the way back to P13. So long repair there, bit of a repair job there for the number 91. Yeah, there's a lot of right side damage there.
And like we saw Ogle take right side tires only, I was taking a look at Jeff Pogo. He come into the pits left side only for him. So multiple strategies being played out here tonight.
Absolutely, and you kind of expect it for this kind of racing. Byron, you guys, you just keep them talking for now, and I'll be back in just a second. Just need to deal with something.
Well, Daniel Dill looked like he went into the pits, but he missed his pit, so he's having to bring it back in. That is going to give the lead of this race over to the 23 of Thomas Ogle. What run. We saw Thomas Ogle get involved in a caution with the number 2 car, CJ Gates. Thomas Ogle had to go into the pits, had to use his fast repair, and he came back out, and we watched that restart. He took it dead last out there in the field, and oh my God, you know, how many times have I told you folks, it's a super speedway. It doesn't take you long to go from the outhouse to the penthouse and back, and we just watched a run with the 23 car. That is ESBN Driver of the Night style racing, to go from the outhouse to the penthouse and have control of the field. Thomas Ogle is out in front as the lights are off on the Ford Mustang pace car. John Mullins, you know, I can't tell you enough about him in the 64 machine. He has been there all night long as the cream of the crop. These guys have been running out in front, showing it how it's done. And looks like we're going to come down to the closing stages of this race with these guys out there showing, hey, I want this. I don't need the points for the league. This is being run for the Global Down Syndrome Awareness charity, and these guys are putting on one heck of a show, and I can't say enough about it. One retirement tonight in the form of our Chase Berry 6 laps ago, but everybody out there on the track, everybody out there, 19 cars on the lead lap. When have you seen that in a Talladega race? And we're about to see more of it because we're getting towards the last quarter of this race. It's going to be a doozy. Lights are off on the Ford Mustang pace car. Bringing them around turn 4, heading off to the dog leg over here on the front stretch. Remember, green flag. They're going to hold that green flag for a bit because the start-finish line is not in the middle of the dog leg like it is at Daytona. They have moved it here at Talladega further down to turn 1. Changes it as we see the Mustang pace car taking that turn into pit lane. Ogle's got command of the field, holding them down. Waits for that green flag to come out. You'll hear what we call the loud pedal. The reason we call it the loud pedal, listen. That's why we call it the loud pedal. Green flag waves. These guys bring these engines up to full song, bring them up through the gearbox. Ogle hustles them off into turn one. Ogle out in front. Mullins on the outside of the outside lane, up in the front of that outside lane. Don't look now. Christopher Lawrence has worked his way right to the second spot. Mullins dives down to the inside, holds that third position. Only car way back out there on the outside, that would be the 13 of Cody. Ogle in command of this. Just going to hold it down that bottom lane. He's got Christopher Lawrence right behind him. John Mullins bringing up third. Cameron Colby at fourth. Cody LaBauche in fifth, rounding out that top five. Everyone seems to be settled down into, we don't have that too wide racing going on. It's like, okay, you know what? Let me just hold this down. We're going to conga line this for a bit. Time to ride. We've got, what, 25, 35, 40 laps to go. So we're going to see another green flag stop if we don't get the caution, because you know what? They can't make it this far in a tank of go fast. Can't say enough about the number 3, Thomas Ogle. Oh my God, what a run has he made. It's the same thing with the 64, John Mullins. These guys have been up front. I've seen comers and goers through this whole thing. Don't look now, Ryan Jones up to the 6th spot in that ESBN entry. Beautiful looking car. Got one falling to the back. That would be the number 2 machine of CJ Gates. He must be down on power because he's having a tough time keeping up with the draft. Back up at the front of the pack, single file through the whole field right now. Thomas Ogle still got him. This is a part of the race where the guys are taking a little bit of a break inside the car. Yeah, we're moving at stop speed. Yeah, we're picking them up, putting them down. Yeah, we're doing 100 and something, 200 something miles an hour around this track, but we're not racing real hard. This is what you call a NASCAR driver's version of taking a break. No one really wanted to try that outside lane towards the front of the field. We see him in the back trying to step out just a bit, but everyone content to run single file right now, knowing that we've got to go all the way to lap 115. 25 laps to go to the end of this, the end of 100. Another 15, so that's 35. I don't do math very well. That would be 40 laps left in this event. Now we've seen they can go about 20 laps on a tank of Go Fast here, so you want to make it to about lap 1 or about lap 95. If you can get to lap 95, which is about almost 20 more laps, it's going to be tight on fuel for these guys to do it in one more stop. But then again, you know, we're talking strategy now. This is what the guys on the top of the pit box get paid the big bucks for. But we're talking strategy, and that caution flag takes that strategy, wads it up, throws it out the window, lights it on fire, and says, what strategy? Everything's still running status quo. Ogle out in front. Lawrence second. Mullins third. Followed by Colby and LaBauche. He's going to kick me if I get his name wrong. LaBauche? LaBauche?
LaBauche.
Sam, you're going to have to help me out on it now.
LaBauche.
LaBauche. Okay, so I'm not going to... So I got it right. I saved the kick in the ding-ding. But take a look out there on the track, Sam. It has been this way from the drop of the green flag. These guys are content to single file conga line it, knowing they've got to hit the pit lane one more time minimum. We've been seeing, what, 20 to 22 laps of green flag racing and a full tank of gas. These guys have got coming up on 35 laps left to go, and they've already run 8 in this stint.
Yeah, and it's probably a bit too early to be thinking about being aggressive at this point, so these guys just happy to run single file right now. Just want to give a quick mention to the two teammates. You mentioned one of them, the other one being Cameron Colby. The two teammates have been slowly pushing their way forward as the race has gone on, as we've got 2 lanes starting to develop here. As there goes Lawrence, and it looks like Mullins making a second lane for themselves, and they actually successfully pushed their way to the front. Big move, power move there by the 3 of the 64 to move their way forward. But the 2 teammates there, Cameron Colby and Cody Lowbush, been slowly but surely working their way up through the field, now find themselves in P4 and 5, just ahead of Ryan Jones there. Really good running by the 38 and the 13 to put themselves in the position they are.
Yeah, and and take a look at the number 23 of Oval. When Lawrence and Mullen made that run, I don't know if all of a sudden Ogle's thinking, I got to think about saving some fuel, because Ogle was out in the front from the green flag jump on that one. Did he let them go by so he can drop back into the rocking chair in that trap and get off of that throttle a bit and save himself some fuel? Because, just by watching from the green flag drop and doing some quick calculations on what we know about fuel mileage on these things, it's going to be tight to do it on one more stop. I don't know if they can do it with just one more stop. We'll have to wait and see.
One driver that's kind of recovered from his earlier incident fell back off the pack and went a lap down earlier on. CJ Gates now knocking on the door of the top 10 there, just battling it out with Eric Holly right now for that 10 spot. Not really paying off, as he's trying to get right in front of Jeff Pogo there. Just trying to force his way down there, but again, stays on the bottom line. Robert Dudley getting a bit out of shape there on the backstretch there, just in front of Jeff Acevedo and behind Ryan Jones. So Dudley still having handling problems with that number 49 right now. Yeah,
and CJ Gates, he didn't get a chance to move down, but you know what? Pogo said, hey, I'll come up and help you out. Gates is picking up some spots with a little bit of help on the outside line. Pogo drops back down into the bottom. Gates is out there all by his lonesome, but don't look now. There's a 16 or 18 global of Hagedorn out there on that second lane. These two might be able to make up some spots.
That is actually Pienta that's on the outside line, just on the outside of Pogo.
Pienta?
Yeah.
16, not 18, yeah. My bad.
Hagedorn's in the Milwaukee car.
My bad.
Yeah. We've heard it all before. Anyway, Lawrence still leading the way. We're on lap 82 of 115 here. We're getting closer and closer to the final portion of this race as they come out of turn 4. About to start on lap 83. Now, if they can keep it clean from here, they only have to make one more pit stop here, Byron. And the next pit stop will be the most important one, because that will get them to the end of the race.
Well, I'm sitting here thinking, okay, one more pit stop, Sam, but here's the thing. We're 13 laps in now. Say we pit stop in 7 more. That puts us stopping at lap 90.
Oh, wow,
then you got to go to lap 100. Then you got to go to lap 110. Then you got to get to 115. Man, it's going to be tight on that tank of fuel. How far can you stretch this tank of fuel, I think, is going to determine how we're going to finish off. But then don't forget, man, the great equalizer, that caution flag, it has shown its ugly face a couple of times when you weren't expecting it.
Yeah, they can go 25 laps, maybe 26 at a maximum if they can push it that way. So one more pit stop might do it if they can stay under green. And like you said, those cautions have kind of come out of nowhere here tonight. A couple of big wrecks. One of them was a single car wreck with... they'll come to me in a minute. Eric Holly having that big hit, but... those two other cautions have been either someone getting shuffled loose and just taking a few drivers with them, or it's just been a big one altogether. But anyway, we are now lap 84 of 115, very much closing in on the 30 lap to go mark, and like you said, if they can make it to lap 90, maybe lap 91, they will only have 25 laps then left, and that's where they can actually make it from that point onwards.
Yeah, so you got to be imagining that somewhere along in driver chatter, there's some deal making, there's some friend making, there's some when you gonna go. I don't know when you gonna go. There is some some things being struck, some plans being made. As we see, Ryan Jones has decided to step out in that outside line with CJ Gates. As these guys are, Ryan Jones working 7th, 8th position on that outside. Outside seems to be garnering a little bit of momentum there.
Absolutely, they're still running pretty much single file for the most part, so no harm, no foul for these guys. They are just trying to get to the end the cleanest way possible, and they're doing it the right way. You know, they're just not exactly forcing the issue. We've seen a couple of guys make power moves to the front, but that's about it. Nothing really too aggressive at this point, as we are now 30 laps to go here at Talladega.
You know, Robert Dudley stepping out to that outside line saying, okay, guys, you want to make that outside line work? I'll get in front and try it with you. So outside line starting to take shape a little bit. Only 3 cars on the running out there. Let's see what happens. Now Ryan Jones drops it down, leaves it to a 2-car charge now.
As we're looking at the 49, CJ Gates just not having any part of that number 49 right there. He sees the damage on the front and said, yeah, you're too slow for me. I'm just going to go around you.
Going around Dudley, you know, okay, getting to the back of Dudley is one thing. Going around him is something totally different. How long have you and I been racing with one Mr. 49, Robert Dudley?
I don't know, but he's a very tough cookie, as we've already found in the past, running with Top Fuel Racing, and most recently on this past Wednesday with Sim Racing Edge. Didn't have the best of races though. We've got a bit of a connection problem there for CJ Gates. Don't want to have that happen this late in the race, as Jeff Acevedo just there in P7 right behind Ryan Jones. It looks like Cameron Colby's going to make a run to the outside now. Nope, ducks back in, never mind. Oh, what the... Gates just making an audacious move on the outside of Robert Dudley there.
That was a strong move to get way outside. But Gates is just hanging in there. We've seen him by his lonesome, slowly but surely, just picking away on that outside line, just picking at spot, at the next spot, spot. Tiny bit by tiny bit, using that side draft technique. Now he seems to have his car under control. Earlier he was all over the track. Maybe it just needed a good whack or two to straighten it out, but it seems to be doing a lot better now.
Well, you can make setup adjustments in the car now, so even if it's a fixed setup race, so I'm pretty sure
What kind of adjustments now?
I think you can make spring adjustments and stuff like that, so... Oh, Gates gets knocked out of shape there. Don't come up the track there, Gates, as it's going to end up in problems. And he saves it. Good save. Still trying to save it.
He's still working on saving it.
Yeah, and he does save it. Good recovery there by Gates, but he's going to be well off the pack now.
Okay, fresh underwear to the 2 pit, please. Fresh underwear to the 2 pit.
Yeah.
What a save. We stay under green, but that is going to cost him a ton of track position, and I think he's lost a draft as well.
Yeah, he has. We're going to go back and take a look at that.
That's the ESBN save of the night, let me tell you.
Yeah, as we're looking at CJ Gates right now, and let's see how he was able to hold on to that one. As... he tried to come down. I think it was right in front of someone. I think it was right in front of Robert Dudley. Or something happened. I think it was Bechtel. He was right in front of Bechtel. Bechtel didn't have anywhere to go and just got into the back of him. And you just see all round through turns 3 and 4. Just Gates just trying to save it. And we're going to take a look at the cockpit camera and see how he's moving that wheel. He's just able to... Take another look at this on the onboard.
That was quite a bit of driving to keep that thing from going snap, see you by.
Yeah, he tried to come down between Jones and Dudley. Didn't quite work out. You see CJ Gates just working on that wheel, trying to keep that car straight. Just when you're trying to do that through a corner, though, it just doesn't work. And you have to kind of hold on till the straight before you can get that car leveled out again. And thankfully he did, but he's now 47 seconds off the lead, and that has cost him a lot.
Well, there's a reason why he's 47 seconds off the lead. He went ahead and took a pit side with the pack just now coming to the back of him. Oh, sideways again coming off of that corner with the pack charging at him.
And that almost ended in tears again, as Gates just having a horrible time right now. Down goes a lap down, and it's still going to be Christopher Lawrence leading this one. They are literally 24 laps to go now, and if they make that last pit stop, and it's coming very soon here, Byron, they can make it from here now if it stays green.
Yeah, I look for wholesale pit stops to be happening right now. What CJ Gates tried to do was, after that miraculous save, he decided to bring it pit side because he knew he lost the draft. He brought it pit side, came out right in front of the pack, and stayed down low, hoping the pack would go around him and he could just catch the back end of them, let them do their pit cycle, and then he would be able to go ahead and, be able to stay on the lead lap that way and stay in contention. But it didn't quite work out, as we are now working 22 laps on a stint for these guys, and they have yet to bring it to pit lane, working lap now 93 of 115.
Yeah, they are. 23 laps to go. That pit stop is looming. There is no escaping the fact that they will have to bring it down one more time, and when they do, they will be able to take it to the end. Now
you got to figure this is going to be one mass. Pretty much every man is going to come down to pits. They've all conga lined this thing. They're all low on the inside line, waiting for the first car to flinch to come down pit lane. Now it's the important part. This is what we call the money stop. You have got to be perfect on your pit entry, not speed. You got to be perfect on your entering your pit, not overshoot it, not undershoot it. Get right in there so you can get the quickest little change that you need. And your strategy, are you going to take tires? You're going to take right side. You got to take a full tank of fuel, so take right sides or left sides. What are you going to do? But you got to have that decision made, because pretty much you're going to be coming in the pits next time around.
Yeah, you are. And like I said earlier, they do have the extra sets available to them, so if you haven't taken all of your sets of tires, and we've seen a couple of people take a couple of sets already, they do have 3 in hand. So do you use that last set of tires, or do you try and hold out and see if a caution comes out? That is the big decision you've got to make as they come through 3 and 4 now. Is this where they come down to pit road? We've got a couple of coming down, and one of them is Thomas Ogle as they come down towards pit road now, Byron.
Yep. We've got Mullins and Lawrence staying out on the track along with Jeff Acevedo. But the first one to flinch is Thomas Ogle, and he's going to bring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cars with him. That leaves 8 cars out there on the track that have yet to come down. I look for them to come down next time around. This is going to be real interesting. We saw how they all meshed together the last time they did a green flag stop.
Yeah, as we're waiting to see who wins the race off pit road here right now. It should be Thomas Ogle. And it will be not Thomas Ogle. It's actually going to be Ryan Jones winning the race off pit road. Ogle's still in his box. I think Ogle's been popped for speeding here, Byron.
Yes, Ogle's serving a penalty or something happened, but he is still sitting in that pit lane. Everyone's gone. Ogle's sitting there by himself. What a heartbreak for the 23. We were looking for big things coming out of him.
Oh, and he's blown the engine. Oh my goodness me, Ogle has just completely hand grenaded the engine. His race is over.
That is a massive heartbreak for the 23. We watched that run where he went from the penthouse to the outhouse, back up to the penthouse, vying for ESBN Driver of the Night status, and oh my God, it looked to be a penalty. Don't know what happened there, and then the engine just grenaded on him. We're going to have to see if we can find out post-race.
Acevedo now leading this race here as they come out of turn 4. Watch for him to bring it down pit road and bring Pienta, Mullins and Winter with him. And it's going to be Winters as well, Chandler with him. These are the last drivers to make it down pit road. 20 laps to go. We are going to be looking at Randy Bechtel, though. He's just coming out of pit road. Christopher Lawrence is just coming out as well. Robert Dudley is out on track already. He's going to be looking for the lead here. The net lead, actually, as Ashley Lawrence has actually made it out of pit road ahead of them all, but down on speed slightly. Can Dudley catch these guys before it's too late? Probably can't, as it looks like actually he can. Look at that. Gets around and just like that. But Bechtel and Winters are well out ahead right there.
Well, Dudley leading the pack. Dudley leading the pack down around across the start-finish line right now. As Winter is just now hitting the merge line for the track. So he just brings it up on the back straight. He's got 9. He's not very much for. Okay. Dudley, 3.5 seconds off the back of Winter. But Dudley has a draft with a whole bunch of help. And these guys are still stretched out, kind of staggered in front of them for the first 5 positions. And then you got Mullins and Dudley leading the whole pack, catching these first 5. I'd say we're going to have a pretty much a shootout for the last, 18 laps of this thing?
Yeah, but look at Justin Winters and Randy Bechtel. They have finally got around these guys. They were the ones at full speed now lead this race. Justin Winters and Randy Bechtel. Bechtel, I said earlier, was not really showing his hand. Now is decided to put his foot to the floor. We are 18 laps to go here at Talladega. They are coming up on lap traffic. I can't quite see who that is. I think actually that's Jeff Pogo, who's also been popped for a penalty there. So the number 4 not having the end to his race as he wanted it to, as he's about to go a lap down, as there goes Justin Winters to his inside with Randy Bechtel right behind him. Jeff Chandler up to 3rd place now with Jeff Winter. Evan Pienta up there. They've all bunched together, but in a different formation here, Byron. This is very different to how we saw it just before that last pit stop came about.
Yep, very different indeed. Now, Jeff Pogo, heartbreak for him getting caught on penalty, but he has caught the draft. He is with that pack. Caution flag would be his best friend right now, but I don't know if we're going to see it. Well, we could very possibly see it, as these guys are going to start saying, you know what, all that respect and all that room I was giving you earlier in the race, it ain't going to fly. It ain't going to happen right now. We're digging, gouging, and pushing. Take a look at Bechtel, how close he is under the rear spoiler of Justin Winters.
Yeah, look at Evan Pienta making a lane for himself out there on that 2nd row as he's going up, trying to make his way up for the field. The other drivers just not really following suit there, as Hagedorn almost runs right into the back of Ryan Jones there in the background.
Yeah, but you know what? Look at this group running here, Sam. Now, you can't tell me anything different. Anyone in this group, this top draft, can win this race with 15 laps to go.
Jeff Winter,
we've seen it.
Jeff Winter in pit road, by the way. Not really sure what happened to him. He made his pit stop and he's back in again. It's a splash and go for fuel, so I'm wondering if he didn't fill the tank up the whole way when he made his pit stop. But he's coming back out again. He might go a lap down here. He's only just making his way out of pit road now. He'll be out in plenty of time. But Justin Winters still leading this thing with Randy Bechtel and Jeff Chandler right behind him. John Mullins, who's led the most laps here tonight, is in 4th place, so he'll be one to look out for before this is over, as we are now 15 laps to go. They've taken one glove off. When we get to 10 laps to go, that's when the other glove comes off.
Yeah, no kidding. And don't look now, but that 2nd lane's starting to get formed up. And look who's out in the front of it. 49, Robert Dudley.
Yeah, and he has got Jared Hagedorn right behind him. We said about Jared Hagedorn before. He was another one that wasn't really showing his hand earlier on in this race. Now starting to pick up speed right behind the 49. Robert Dudley. Dudley goes down, right down in front of Mullins there. And Mullins is probably going to need a new fire suit at this point, as well, as Dudley is going to fall to the back of the field here, I believe, and he will do. No, it's
that wasn't Dudley.
It was Hagedorn. I apologize. Hagedorn having the moment there.
And that was one heck of a moment, and how he didn't collect all the other cars on the track, I don't know. But he went from the top lane right across the front nose of Mullins, and Mullins has got to be thinking, I need a new fire suit as well.
I'm trying to go back and see that. Trying to find it. No, you see it right in front of John Mullins there. Hagedorn just having a bit of a mare going through the corner. And
that was where Mullins just must have said, just closed his eyes, mashed his foot to the floor and said, Jesus, go.
Jesus, take the wheel. Literally in this case, with 13 laps to go now. Justin Winter's still leading. Bechdale's still in second. Jeff Chandler's still in third. Mullins, yeah, you probably won't want to smell the inside of that car once you get to the end of this race, because it's probably going to smell a bit ripe, as they say over here. As this, like I said, new fire suit and all that.
Yep.
Hagedorn, though, still is completely fallen off the pack now. He's about 9 seconds off the lead. After that, Cameron Colby is only 1.2 seconds off the lead, but he's with this lead pack. These two teammates have fallen to the back of this lead pack. I wonder if they have something planned there. As you already mentioned here, Byron, that second lane really coming to getting stronger now. Robert Dudley leading that outside pack with Ryan Jones in second behind him. Stephen Holmes is up there as well, and I believe that is Evan Pienta up there as well, and now Acevedo's up there. It looks like Lawrence is up there as well now, so really forming up on that high side, getting very strong. Robert Dudley bidding for the lead right now. Yeah,
and you notice that when they go around those corners and they hit those straights, remember how you could have drove a Mack truck in between the space between the inside lane and the outside lane running on that track? Not anymore. These guys are getting a little more aggressive, getting closer door to door, working that side draft, and Robert Dudley's in a drag race for the lead.
There he is, and he's just been shuffled out by Ryan Jones, who's forced a new lane for himself through the middle. He's good in for the lead now. We're 11 laps to go. Moves like that's illegal as Holmes gets a bit squirrely going for the middle. Pienta trying to come through as well. It was always going to chance for one. And there goes Pienta. And no caution.
No, they managed to keep it pointed straight, keep the wheels pointed in the right direction, kept the front fender facing front, the looking out the windshield instead of the rear view mirror. Oh my God, what a save, but it cost some people some track position.
Yeah, Pienta coming off the worst of that one. He went flying through that one, but they somehow keep it green. And Justin Winters, now as we come to 10 laps to go, is going to be in the catbird seat unless somebody can make a drastic move here. Someone's going to have some pretty serious damage. I think Robert Dudley might be one of them as Pienta comes into pit road, probably to burn his fast repair late on in this race, and that's heartbreak for him. He's had a pretty impressive run up until now.
Yeah, it just wasn't going to work. They were getting awful froggy coming off of that corner. But you know what? It's the right glove came off, left glove came off, and right about now, it's if you got them, pick them up and throw them up on the dash for everyone to see and say, take a look at this, watch this.
As Pienta takes his fast repair and rejoins the track, he's going to be, well, it might be a lap down soon, as looks like Gates is about to go a lap down again, as Jeff Winter goes a lap down again in the Mountain Dew number 30, as now Jeff Winters leading another lap here. He's getting closer to that race victory, but look at the middle of the track there. Eric Holly, we've not really said much about him since his big wreck earlier in the race, but now leading that outside line, making a charge for the lead once again, as he's finally managed to get himself near the front.
Yeah, he's got Ryan Jones right on his tail, and Ryan Jones, we've seen earlier in the race, was part of that, using the outside line to get to the front and duck down in an aggressive move. We saw Mullins do it, and now we've seen Jones do it, and now we got Jones pushing Holly because he knows how to do it, and knows we got, 7-8 laps left to go in this thing. It's going to get interesting.
8 laps to go out the line as they come through the tri-oval. Now, Justin Winters still holding on. And now it's Stephen Holmes that's leading the outside line with Holly right behind him. Looks like Ryan Jones, looks like he backed out of it slightly there. Might have got a bit loose through the trial there. That's let Robert Dudley right in front of him now as they come down the backstretch. And It's going to be interesting to see who's going to come out on top of this one. You can never count it until they cross the line at super speedways like this one, Byron. Justin Winters might be leading right now, but somebody else is pretty sure to win it if Winters just can't hold on.
Yeah, we're getting down into that part of the race where it's like, you know what? You were my friend earlier. You're not my friend now. It's every man for himself. And you're gonna see rooting, gouging, and scratching for every bit of real estate that they can get on this track. It's fixing to get interesting.
It's like pro wrestling, but in cars. Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Don't look now, but look who's leading that outside line. And we've seen him make that power move, what, 2 or 3 times tonight? And they're coming up to lap traffic, so this is going to get interesting.
Yeah, that person Byron was referring to is John Mullins. He's now leading that outside line, and he's made this move before. He can definitely do it again, but does he have enough time? We are 7 laps to go here at Talladega. About to be 6 laps to go as they come out of turn 4, and rightly so. They are coming up on lap traffic, and it's going to be Evan Pienta that they're going to put a lap on, who had that big wreck, but somehow didn't see the caution come out.
Yeah, heartbreak for Pienta there, but give it to him. He kept the thing facing forward. One hell of a save. Unfortunately, it didn't bring a caution to where he can catch him up, get back to the field, lost the draft, and now you see the field overhauling him right now as they go ahead and put him a lap down. But I'm watching that outside lane. I'm watching Mullins. Mullins is doing everything he can, side drafting, doing everything he can to get up in there. As someone jumps up in front of Mullins, that would be as Chandler. They get back around. Yep.
Jeff Chandler making his way forward as well now. So it's coming down to it as we come now to 5 laps to go here at Talladega. And who is going to take home the trophy here for the Global Down Syndrome 300? This special race brought to you by USRA to kick off the year of 2021. And it's Jeff Chandler on the outside going to be the next pretender for that crown. But Justin Winters is holding on for dear life right now.
Yep, outside line looking to make that power move as these guys have all of a sudden saying, if I got it, I'm going to use it. Time to push the scramble button and go for all I've got as they form it up side by side, 2 by 2. We are super speedway draft in the draft, pushing and shoving racing right now, folks.
Yep, as they come to 4 laps to go now, getting closer to the finish. It's all Holly gets it sideways, and there it is. We're going to see the overtime here as they wreck going across the line. 4th caution in the air, and oh my goodness me, it's Ryan Jones involved in that one.
Yep, caution on the track. Got to go back and take a look at this. This is what you would call the big one, ladies and gentlemen. And it just looked, a lot of guys just gouging for the same bit of real estate, and that's what you call an accident. 2 vehicles looking for to occupy the same space at the same time just does not quite work out. Caution flag flies, but here's the big conundrum, Sam. We are at lap 112 or 115. Is it going to be overtime? I didn't look to see if we had green wall checker able to race tonight, if we were going to have the green wall checker. But that would be cool if we got green wall checker tonight, because that's going to give us the definitive winner. But what do you do, man? You bring it in for, if you got tires, do you bring them in and get them? Or you just run what you brung right now?
It's going to be interesting to see how that works, but we're going to take a look at the wreck that just happened. It looked like there was a bit of a going on there. Something happened. I believe Pienta was involved in that as well. No, it was Ryan Jones got sideways, got into the side of Eric Harley. Dudley just getting away with it there. We've got 3 going off in a big way over there. That's Jeff Winter. It looks like Justin Winters was involved in that. Was it Justin Winters? No, it wasn't Justin Winters. I apologize. Saw someone go off in a big way. It might have been Cameron Colby. Take a look and see. It was Cameron Colby going off and just absolutely getting planted against the wall. Same for Eric Holly. He goes off in a big way. And just a lot of hurt drivers, well, a lot of hurt feelings out there, I know that much. And somehow CJ Gates got involved in that as well as Jeff Winter. Both drivers a lap down. Daniel Dill being scored as the leader, but he's well out ahead of everybody else for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening there. Daniel Dill, he's bringing the car toward, it looks like he's bringing it to a stop at the end of the backstretch. Just
Daniel
slow
Dill is out
rolling.
of fuel. Daniel Dill's out of fuel.
Daniel Dill might not be able to make it. He may have to stop and tow.
Yeah, Daniel Dill's out of fuel. Chandler is he's not being scored as the leader. Daniel Dill is. Huh.
Daniel Dill, if he's out of fuel, he was only on 19 laps on that green flag run.
Unless he didn't take fuel in the last pit stop.
Or take enough.
Yeah, because
you can tell iRacing, hey, only give me this many gallons. You know, you don't have to take a full fuel load that takes the full amount of time going into the car. You can short fuel it, fill it for time, but short filling it looks like it might have been Daniel Dill's Achilles heel, because look how slow that thing is running right now. Oh, he's working it back and forth, trying to wiggle that thing down towards the pit lane. I don't think he's going to make it to his pit. Whoa.
Yeah, Daniel Dill is stopping.
The field overhauls him now.
Oh no, he turned it off to... Oh, that's clever. That's clever. He found out he found he was way ahead of the field. And this is the clever part. I've been in his cockpit for a while now. He waited for the field to catch him, so while he was waiting, he turned the engine off to save fuel. And when they got around him, he switched his car back on again. That is very, very clever.
Knowing that we've got to go green-white checker, because I don't know if you've noticed, but yeah, we do have a green-white checker happening here.
Yeah, I'm going to be watching for Daniel Dill here, because he pulled off a master stroke saving that fuel then, like he did, just turning off the car while he was waiting. And yeah, just that's impressed me, that has. So just using it to his advantage.
And
but
I was going to say, it looks like he's doing the same thing. He's clutching that thing rolling around.
Yeah. So he's definitely in fuel saving mode. As the lights are off in the pace car for the final time. I'm hoping for the final time here tonight. Byron, why don't you get us going once again?
Ford Mustang pace car, lights are off. That means line them up side by side, gentlemen. Jeff Chandler in command of the field. Justin Winters to his outside elbow. Going to start from row one as they work their way down the back straight, what we call the Alabama gang backstretch. Seems like they move so slow under caution when you're on a super speedway, but this track has got some length to it, folks. It is not, you know, like everyone said, Daytona, 2 mile long.
Yeah. Oh.
No, longest oval, I should say. We got longer road courses we're running now this year. But coming out of the exit at turn 4, remember the start-finish line is all the way down past the dog leg, down by turn 1 and 2. So you're going to see that Ford Mustang pace car. It will make that move down towards pit lane, but Jeff Chandler's going to hold him down because the green flag is not going to fly for a little while. These guys are sitting there saying, okay, what have I got? What have I got to bring? Waiting for him to hit the loud pedal, ladies and gentlemen, and you know why they call it the loud pedal. We showed you the last time. Take a listen. You're going to hear why this time.
Yeah, as we're waiting for them to hit the loud pedal, we're on board with Jeff Chandler.
That's why they call it the loud pedal, folks. He's standing on it, in it, all around it, and through it. Gets his start. Moves those cars down the lane as they come up and get the engines up to full song on the restrictor plate, up through the gearbox, hustle off into the turn 1-2 complex. Give the advantage to Jeff Chandler down on that low lane, but don't look now. He has got Randy Bechtel pushing on his back bumper for all he's worth.
As they come out of turn 2 now, you see how much closer they are. The aggression levels is going up through the roof now, and this is what it all comes down to. 2 laps to go, and look at the push that Justin Winters is getting on that outside line by Stephen Holmes right now as they come through 3 and 4, but it's going to be Jeff Chandler just holding on with Bechtel giving him the push. Acevedo is right there as well as they come out of turn 4. We should be getting the white flag this time by, unless somebody has a big oops, and they won't do as they come through the tri-oval down towards the line. White flag in the air, Byron.
White flag flying in the air, folks. That means the next flag is going to end this race as Justin Winters hauls off the Mayo down there low. Oh, there goes.
Daniel
My God, how they managed to keep that straight. Oh, no, they're wrecking, slapping the wall, but it doesn't matter. We're headed for the checkered flag. 4-car breakaway. Winters, Chandler, Holmes, and Bechtel have got to decide this thing for themselves. These 4 cars are pushing to see who can get to that start-finish line first.
Oh,
what a
there it is!
push.
Oh, no, they're all 4 of them around. This is going to be interesting as Jeff Chandler goes into the wall. That's going to leave Justin Winters out in front now as your winner of the Global Down Syndrome Awareness 300. Justin Winters wins the Talladega. Jeff Pogo out of nowhere will claim second place. Stephen Holmes third on the podium. What a finish, Byron.
I gotta go by and take a look at this. Where in the hell did Jeff Pogo come from?
I have no idea. He did this last time I broadcast in one of these races. Just came out of nowhere and finished on the podium. My goodness.
My God, look at the move. Go back and replay and take a look at Jeff Pogo making the move for second place on that track. Oh my God, what a move.
Yeah, we see the wreck happening right there, and Pogo just tiptoeing his way through, just slid through there, right in front of Robert Dudley. And
he goes down the apron and back up.
Well, he passed below the yellow line. I'm not sure if that's going to be allowed. I don't know. That's going to be a tough call on that one. But with this being a special race, I think maybe passing below the yellow line is allowed. I'm not really sure.
I don't know, but all I know is he threaded the needle several different ways right there and got himself around. What a race. What a race.
Absolutely.
Congratulations, Justin Winters.
Yeah, Justin Winters winning there, and the Allen's Body Shop number 52. Great victory for him as he does the burnout on the start-finish line. Jeff Pogo in second place with Stephen Holmes in third. And a great result here at the end of this one. And I said the aggression levels were going to be going through the roof, and they did. And John Mullins, after everything he's done, led the most laps here tonight, did not finish this race at the end, finishing down in P17 out of this event. Jeff Chandler already putting it on the hauler as well. Well, he's having to piece it back on the hauler. He was absolutely destroyed after that one, as we are now ready to bring in the race winner here for this one as we go to find Justin Winters, and I can't drag him up because... 1 second.
Yeah, it's not letting me drag him either.
Yeah, let me do it this way. 1 second. Oh, I can't do it.
Man, folks, you saw one hell of a finish to the race right there. I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to say it any better. Justin Winters, this is Byron up in the booth, man. You guys put on one hell of a show for us. You guys gave us one hell of a run for the Down Syndrome Global Awareness. Dude, what was going through your mind when all of a sudden there's a pack of 4-car breakaway, and then it breaks loose, and then here you are looking at the start-finish line?
I was hoping nobody hooked up to pass it. That was pretty intense racing. Glad of all the guys that participated in this race. That was a good, clean race, and I think we put on a pretty good show.
Oh, I don't think you put on a pretty good show, my friend. I know you put on a pretty good show. I had the pleasure of being able to sit here and call it. You guys did put on one hell of a show, my friend.
Yeah, thanks for Pogo and Eric for putting this on. It was a lot of fun.
Man, congratulations for the top spot. Congratulations on winning the charity run for Down syndrome global awareness. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you roll?
Obviously, I want to thank Jeff and Eric with USRA for putting this on and allowing us to race. It was for a great cause, and I'm appreciative as all could be out to win this race. I got to thank Allen's Body Shop and Huffman Designs for being on the car and Boots Manufacturing, and I'm glad that I could win the race, the charity race for this global Down syndrome.
Well, you know what, my friend? You did one hell of a job at it. It was a pleasure to call that race. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you, guys, and thank you for broadcasting it.
It's our pleasure. That was your race winner, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Justin Winters, and one hell of a finish. But talking about finishes, Sam, normally you would take up with the second place, but I got a question I got to ask, and that is to Mr. Jeff Pogo. Dude, how many needles did you thread to sneak up and steal that second spot?
It was a few. I wasn't lifting, that's for sure.
My question is, where the hell... You know what? I should call these races more often, though, because last time I called a race for USRA, Jeff came out of nowhere, and I think you won it last time, so... You've done it again here tonight with me calling a race. What is going on here, Jeff? Is it because I'm a good omen for you or something?
I guess I'll take that, whatever you want.
Yeah, don't let it go to his head.
Try not to.
I'll take it either way. I don't care.
But a good race for you. Well, it wasn't a good race for yourself not too long ago, though, Jeff. You did go a lap down through, I believe it was a pit road penalty, but that last caution really helping you out, getting you back on the lead lap, and you come away with the second place. Got to be happy with the end of that one.
Yeah, not too bad. It's kind of weird. I got a unsafe pit entrance when I was between Dudley and Eric Holly getting into the pits. It wasn't a speeding; it was an unsafe pit entrance. So I don't know really what was up with that, but it worked out in the end. Fell into a pile of doo-doo and come out smelling like a rose on that end.
And that you did, and like Byron said, you picked your way through the wrecks and managed to get the second spot on the podium. Got to be happy. You pretty much put all this together, this special race, to kick off the year with the Global Down Syndrome 300 here at Talladega. Pretty happy with how things turned out with all your organization skills and stuff?
Yeah, it is. First one we've done like this. We might make this an annual thing, maybe once a year with you guys. But I wish we'd have seen a few more cars, but we still managed to raise just a little over $600. So good job, everybody, on that. Appreciate everybody helping out, donating. Cameron Colby was the main sponsor for this with Heatwave Designs, so got to give him a shout out for the big donation too. And just everybody that showed up, man. It was a good race.
Yeah, and looking ahead for yourself, the next race for USRA kicks off this coming Thursday. This second place here going to give you more confidence going into that one?
It might. I mean, I know this wasn't a points race, but I've past 3 races with you guys. I finished second at Darlington, first at Talladega, and then here I am finishing second again. And I just happen to be good at road courses, so hopefully next week I can capitalize on that.
Absolutely, and it's going to be a barn burner as always when we return to Thursday nights with USRA. Jeff, before I let you go, anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, as always, my wife for letting me do this. Got to thank you guys in the booth. I know it's a Saturday night. You guys got other things you'd rather do, but appreciate you being here.
Yeah, you can thank my wife for letting me do this.
Thank her for me. And then, like I said, thank everybody here, everyone that participated and everyone that's watching at home.
All right, Jeff Pogo, second here tonight. We'll see you on Thursday night.
Thanks, sir.
That was Jeff Pogo with me right there. Byron, I believe you've got one Mr. Stephen Holmes with you right now, finishing third place.
Yes. Stephen Holmes, man, you hit the podium. You got that third place. Man, I was expecting to see you grab second till I saw that number 4 sneak up there in front of you, man. Talk to me about it, man. One hell of a run tonight. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It was pretty much an up and down night for me. I know that first pit stop I kind of screwed up and missed my pit box, and I was kind of upset and all that and trying to get my focus back right. But, yeah, it was a good night. Whenever that little shabacle, whatever you want to call it, right there at the end, whenever it happened, I thought I was going to be able to just thread the needle and just keep on going through, but it didn't work out that way. And I saw Pogo coming, and I didn't realize he had that big of a run on me, and he just got me right there at the end. I don't know how close it was, but yeah.
Well, if you have a chance to go back and look at the replay of him going stealing second place away from you, he didn't thread just one needle. He thread several needles.
I heard him say that he never lifted, and I don't think I lifted, and I think I was completely sideways there about 2 or 3 different times. That last lap was probably the most wildest lap I think I've ever turned in iRacing. So it was fun all the way around.
Yeah, it looked fun all the way around, but I got to tell you what, man, my hat's off to you guys. A lot of respect. I saw a lot of give and take out there on the track, and when it was time to go, you guys said, you know what, screw you, I'm gone. But great race, man. Great finish for you here at the Down Syndrome Global. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we close this thing out tonight?
I want to thank Jeff Pogo, number one, for putting all this on. Not only is he the admin, he's a teammate as well, so I want to thank him twice for that. Eric Holly, Dan Deal, thank all of them, the guys that work with us. Thomas Ogle, Jared Hagedorn, I want to thank them for working with us. Anybody out there that's still listening, go to inspired.global, downsyndromefoundation.org, and donate. This is an awesome cause, awesome race. Just go out there and donate, and yeah, that's about it.
All right, man. Folks, you heard it from the drivers. You've seen it on the screen. Man, class act all the way around. Congratulations on the podium finish there, Steven. Sam, final thoughts.
Great racing all around, and looking forward to seeing how these guys can continue this on when they bring back the points race in this coming Thursday. Definitely looking forward to it as, USRA going strength to strength as things go on, even if this was a special event. Congratulations to them for raising over $600. Fantastic amount for such a great cause. Global Down Syndrome Foundation. You can find the website as Stephen Holmes just mentioned right there. Go and donate. It's a fantastic cause, and it's well worth spending the money if you have it. So make sure you check out Global Down Syndrome Foundation. But for now, that is going to do it for us right here. Let's go through the results here before we go anywhere else here tonight, and I've got to figure out how. Yeah, okay. As we are going to go to the results for this one, and bringing home the win here tonight was Justin Winters, picking his way through the last lap wrecks as everything just went haywire on that white flag lap. Jeff Pogo just picking his way through those wrecks and coming home in second place. Stephen Holmes coming home in third place. Robert Dudley coming home in fourth place in the end, and Cody Lobush coming home with the top 5 as well. His teammate Cameron Colby coming home in P6. Ryan Jones in the end coming home in P7, unfortunately caught up in a late wreck there, just putting him outside the top 5. Jared Hagedorn in P8. P9 going to Christopher Lawrence, and Daniel Dill, finishing in the top 10 there. Last spot in the top 10 in 10th, Byron.
Yep, bringing it home in 11th. Jeff Azevedo in the 65 machine. Randy Bechtel, man, we saw him up there by the front, got caught up in that mess in the back, came home in P12. Jeff Chandler brings it home in 13th. Coming home 14th is Jeff Winters. CJ Gates, man, we saw him up at the top. We saw him back at the back and, back to the front, but it didn't quite work out. He comes home in the 15th spot. Evan Pienta 16th. John Mullen, man, leading that race in that 64 machine pretty much all race long, getting caught up in the melee in the front, bringing it home in 17th place, along with Eric Hawley in 18th. Heartbreak of the night, my folks, it's got to be the number 23, Thomas Ogle, leading the race from the get-go, gets caught up in a wreck, uses that fast repair, gets all the way back up to the front just to get caught in the melee again, or something happened in the pits that blew his engine. He brings it home 19th, and rounding out your field tonight, coming home shotgun is Chase Berry.
Well, that is going to do it for us here tonight on ESBN. A fantastic race for everybody involved, and we've had a lot of fun here in the booth for this one. A special race here to kick off the year, and a fantastic victory there for Justin Winters in the end. And don't forget, we have a lot more action coming up for you in the next few weeks with the new year starting. We are in 2021 now, brand new year, brand new leagues coming towards you this one. The next broadcast coming up though will be on Tuesday, when we tomorrow, I think we got Chris Cup coming up tomorrow, so that is going to be one to look forward to. Then Tuesday we have the return of Western States Racing League, their first race of the season coming up on Tuesday night. That'll be kicking off at 5 minutes past 10 p.m. on Eastern. So make sure you check out for that one. Wednesday night will be the season finale of Sim Racers Edge, as we have already crowned a champion, but people are going to be racing out for pride here at Watkins Glen for that one. Thursday we're back with USRA. Friday we were off, and then Saturday we're back with the E-Formula Series as they continue their search for a Season 2 champion. But that is going to do it for us here on ESBN. Great racing all round for this special racing for a great cause. $600 raised, and fantastic job by everybody all round. From myself, Sam Cooper, and from my broadcast partner, Mr. Byron Rodney, this is ESPN. All that's left for me to say is keep it clean, keep it green, Happy New Year, and we will catch you in the next one. Have a good night.
Good night, everyone.